BeerDad, the most awesomest dad around, Justin Allen, and his most awesome co-host, the master brewer himself, the Brewed, Joshua Kunkel. Grab a cold one, kick back and relax, and enjoy the show. Cheers, everybody.
Son, a woman is a lot like a refrigerator. They're about 6 feet tall, 300 pounds. They make ice and... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, a woman is more like a beer. They smell good. They look good. You'd step over your own mother just to get one. But you can't stop at one. You want to drink another woman.
That never gets old. Never gets old. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the BeerDad and Brewed podcast brought to you by the Craft Lounge in Beaumont, California. Jimmy, what's up? Sad you're not here with us today, but I know you are busy with your new beer garden. Congratulations on that. If you guys haven't been out there, check out the Craft Lounge and their new beer garden. Got the misters to keep you cool on these hot 100-degree days, but all the beautiful craft beer flowing. But this is the BeerDad and Brewed podcast, and we are on location here at Kings Brewing, and I'm joined by my awesome co-host, the Brewed man, Joshua Kunkel.
Howdy, how?
And we have a very, 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 very special guest with us here. We got BnD West Coast in the house. What up, yo?
How's it going, guys? Stoked to be here.
This is awesome. I'm glad that you got us all hooked up, and so that we could do that. We've been talking about it for a while. So.
Yes, sir. I love the Frośe, so I'm glad to share it with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
This guy right here is spread the Frośe love all throughout the country. I think even out of the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Country as well.
Yeah, because I see pictures where like Guam,
we got Canada, all over, man.
That's awesome.
People love the Frośe. It's awesome.
It's got to be really humbling too for Jeremiah, one of the owners here, and the staff here to see their beers being drank all over the world.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
Nuts.
So we're here at Kings Brewing in Rancho Cucamonga, and we'll actually be joined in a little bit by Jeremiah, one of the owners, talk to us a little bit about his brewery and about himself and his Frośe line, as well as other beers that he carries. But we're here specifically sampling some Frośes that Eli has saved for us just for this show.
Much appreciated, because I haven't had a chance to try some of these. My cohort here keeps
it's hard
jumping
to
the
save
gun.
Them. It's hard. It is. It's so hard.
It is. Well, especially the one that I'm looking at right here in the middle, because it's my favorite beer so far for the last year, the Fluffernutter. And I got one can of it last year, and I was trying to save it for one of our shows. And, of course, me being the beer dad, I'm like, this is right up my alley, because it's basically peanut butter and jelly beer. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm a sucker for that. So I drank it. But now you'll finally get to try it, Josh.
There you go, yeah. Be able to dive in myself.
Right?
So.
You're finally going to get to try it, so that's pretty awesome. So we just as good, we have some Space Juice, which is another one that came out. And then I asked you to bring your favorite, which is the Cran Royale? Is that your favorite?
The Space Juice is actually my favorite.
Space Juice
next
is
to
your favorite.
Fluffernutter.
Okay.
And the Cran Royal, I love cranberries. I could eat them all day. I like the play on the can itself.
Right.
And just once you open up the can and taste it, it's just so tart and flavorful. It's really one of my favorite Frośes in the lineup for sure.
Oh, man.
I'm actually looking forward to that one myself. I'm a big fan of the cranberry.
It's
nice
so
little
good.
tangy tart.
Cranberries are definitely a good choice for beer, because it provides you that level of tartness that you're looking for in a sour without the overabundance of sweetness.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to try that as well. But all of these, obviously Fluffernutter sitting right there. We actually saw the cat that's on the can from Fluffernutter.
Buddha, shout out Buddha the cat.
Buddha is chilling over here in the brewery.
Nice.
So I'm pretty stoked for we got to meet Buddha in person.
Okay.
That's really awesome. We're gonna try to get some pictures of Buddha and put them up on the site here after we're done recording. But Kings Brewing is currently open right now for business for to-go orders, and there's already people walking in here. I just saw a guy walk out with a case of beer.
It's going quick already.
They're not messing around here at Kings Brewing, so that's awesome. And you were here yesterday for their big release. How many people were in line?
Oh, man. I got here early. There were enough people where they started opening early because it's so hot out, so bless their heart.
Nice.
But it's nuts. Friday, from the moment I get there, which was at 1, and then I saw someone posting until 5 that there were people constantly all day coming.
For sure.
So it's cool to see it, and it's honestly, this is a nice holiday weekend. They have some of the best sours in the country, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, from what I've had so far, well, hell, our breakfast this morning, pretty on point.
Yeah, the Pacific Coast Highway, we got a breakfast beer from Jeremiah. That one has brown sugar and cinnamon in it, and it really has that nice pastry.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a sour, and then a pastry sour, and this is at the king of pastry sours right now.
It gives you that little hint like you're actually tasting a pastry with that cinnamon flavor.
I was thinking like liquid French toast, right?
There you go.
Yeah, literally liquid French toast.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's crack one open. Right. What do you want? Let's do space juice.
Space juice.
Since it's your favorite B&D, let's do that.
All right.
I really like Space, so the name, he really does the names well. They really kind of, like yesterday's release was Blue Dream Express. You know, I love weed. His little weed ties to the names are always cool. So Space Juice.
Wait, you love weed.
I love
I would have never known.
I love weed. But I also love this beer, so I'm stoked.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
are going to love this.
So while we're popping this open, shout out to our Brews and Dubes fam. We got Brews and Dubes West Coast, and of course, shout out to Brando and the Brews and Dubes that got it all
shout
started.
out Brandon and Keeley. I would not be running your beer page without you guys. So thank you for starting an epic beer group.
Yeah,
we appreciate
it's awesome,
you guys.
man. We would have never met if it wasn't for Brews and Dubes. Well, actually, I think I was actually following you on your glass game before Brews and Dubes.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, we met. Actually, the first time I think we met in person was in a line here at Kings.
Yep, the peach rings, the 450 peach rings.
It sold out like, 10 minutes after I left?
10 minutes after we left. When I was rolling the dice for that release. So.
That was crazy. And the other can that was released that day was one of my favorites until I had Fluffernutter, which was the, what was it? It's an E40 song.
Rebel.
You had it. Sprinkle Me.
Sprinkle Me. The blue Sprinkle Me. That one was really good.
I really enjoyed that one.
That one was really good.
Super tropical. It was super good. So, all right. So we got some space juice here. You haven't had space juice.
I haven't had this one. So this is all new to me. So thank you guys.
So
thank you for bringing it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kings, for having us. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
I immediately get you mentioned there's a little peanut
butter
and
pretzel salt.
Okay.
So berries, peanut butter, and pretzel salt, and the combination, it's the salt and the white chocolate that really get me. It's super thick, but you don't get a lot of chocolate in the flavor.
Yeah.
And that just berry and nut, it's so good.
The white chocolate definitely is a lot more mellow than that last release, the apricot.
The apricot was super fudge. I feel like when I have white chocolate in the sours, it thickens it more than gives you the chocolate taste.
Yeah.
It just gives it a nice thick base.
Right.
Yeah,
this is good.
This actually works out because I've never been really a big fan of the whole white chocolate. To me, never tasted like the real cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
But this is on point. This is good. You get the saltiness up there, a little bit of that, like you said, that peanut nuttiness. But then you get the nice little berry, just coating everything.
Yep.
Tangy and tart.
Oh man, it's good. It's when I had space juice, it was out of a grunt.
Okay. Yep.
So I had the grunt, and I feel like it tastes better out of the can. I don't know. I'm crazy.
Well, honestly, they're not even doing. Jeremiah might bring it up, but they did the grunts, and now they've switched it to full can lines.
Yes.
So it's now brights, and honestly, I'm stoked because if it doesn't sell out in one day, it means if you're a big fan, you can come back the next day and still try to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And the glass grunts, you can only get so many of those in your fridge. So now I can
We've got more room.
load up with cans for
now,
sure.
What does Miss B&D think about all this beer you have stashed around the house?
I always get her chocolate ones, so
just to keep her happy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Any wise man, get your lady her own favorite sours, so she drinks those and you look good.
Right.
Because when she sees the fridge and there's all that beer, she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And then I'm like, "Oh, that front row is yours," and she's like, "Oh,
thank you."
Like, yes.
Great minds, man. I do the same thing.
It's never all just for me. I gotta share some.
Otherwise, we sleep on the couch, right?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, I love this Space Juice. This is a really good Frośe. Yeah, it butts right up there second to the Fluffer Nutter for me.
No, it was really good.
It's
Definitely
good
enjoyed
and just it's filling. Like I could drink a full can of this and be good.
Yeah.
For like, I'm not trying to get super drunk, but it is like a nice buzz and fills your belly with like I just ate a really good peanut B&J.
And most of their Frośes hit right around the 7%.
Yep.
In that range, so that'll creep up on you pretty quick.
It will. We're here for a while, so we'll see.
This almost reminds me if you were to take like pretzels and dip them in like jelly or something.
Yeah,
Just
right.
kinda like,
That like super salty.
Yeah, it gives you that little bit of a dry spot on the back of your tongue from the salt. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. It's a pub beer, man. Like, you know, and people see you pour it and they're like, "Oh man, it's so thick. That looks like diabetes in a glass." And it really isn't that sweet.
No.
Like,
No,
it's good.
This is really good. The balance of flavor is amazing.
Actually, that's the one thing I got to comment on. When something we talk about here, where you get like all these flavors all melding together, layering, and then it's just like a clean finish. You know,
Yep.
it doesn't linger. It doesn't leave you going like, "What the fuck was that?" You know.
Yeah,
It
it's like I can open and close my mouth, and I'm like, "Oh, there's the pretzel. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the berry.
You can
Oh."
pick them out.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's nuts.
It's crazy. I would explain this beer if I had to describe it to the listeners who have never had it, and if you get a chance to get your hands on it, definitely do it. Or hopefully, I'm sure, knock on wood, they'll release it one day again. But you guys remember Willy Wonka and the everlasting gobstopper? Where you put it in your
it's
mouth
just
and it just
flavor for
constantly keeps
days.
changing flavors and it lasts forever. I feel like that's this beer. Because like what you just said, if I close the roof of my mouth and open it up, I'm getting different flavors each and every time.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
beer. Like how I started off as a young mind like, oh, all beer tastes the same.
Right.
And in this past year, just like seeing what all these different breweries
You were
are
exposed
doing.
to the craft beer industry.
It's insane, man.
Yeah, because most people are the same. They think everything tastes like a Budweiser, and they're like, it's, you know, it gives me a headache. It has a really bitter aftertaste. It's you know, that's Grandpa's beer.
Yeah.
And then once, you know, you get in there and you're like, I don't like beer, I can guarantee you that you give me enough time, I will find a beer at a craft brewery that you will like.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It took me a while with my sister-in-law. We talked about it before, but I finally found her one, and just a random brewery down in San Diego, and it was called White Walker L, and just random, based on Game of Thrones. But she's like, I really like this. And then she ordered another one. I'm like, well, she's not lying because she's actually drinking it. So I'm like, but yes, I finally got her, like, you know, stop drinking that Budweiser.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this before, that beer has such wide spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you got your dark chocolate, like barrel-aged stouts, to basically like your Frośes and, you know, Space Juice, where it's like that fruity, kind of sour, tangy concoction, and then, you know, everything in between.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I think that's what makes Kings such a good brewery as well, because some people will forget about their pastries. And so, because it's summer right now, so the stouts are out of season, but their pastry stouts are some of the best I've
Really?
had in the country.
Okay.
And their hazy IPAs. I wonder, he might have some on tap today, but like,
I may have
I
to.
come for the Frośes, but they're really skilled at their level
Dude,
of like,
That's good that they can diversify.
yeah,
and just,
they cover like a really broad spectrum of
That
beers.
triple that they had, that was, I think it was like a Harry Potter theme. Do you remember Falcon? What was that? It was
It's hard for me to remember.
It was
I
it
drank
was
so
a triple
many of
IPA, a
them.
hazy triple IPA, and man, was it good! Because you know, when you start getting into that triple category, you start getting that heat, that fire from the alcohol
yeah,
content.
you definitely got to be a little careful
And-
with that.
But they did such a good job at blending it with all the hops, and obviously probably heavy on the oatmeal to get the
Yeah.
super thick, beautiful, viscous like haze to it. But man, that was such a good beer. I'm pretty sure it was something Falcon.
Yeah, I have to go back. I was looking at one. My favorite that they did recently was the Juice Ministers,
I saw that
which
one.
had the Lucky Charms in it.
Okay.
And that, it was like one of the sweeter hazy IPAs I've had, and it really drank like water. And when you can think of it as like an IPA, I was going to sleep so early drinking those bad boys. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like some of those big beers, especially the good ones. Those are my like night punch right there.
Yep.
I love to just sit down and unwind after the day and pour myself a nice, double or triple IPA and go night-night.
Yeah.
You don't need melatonin. You just need a triple IPA.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right? Or some dubs, right?
That's always a dude. Always a
I was
dude.
just going to make the connection between, the dubs and basically hops. They're kind of part of the same family, so they tend to have similar
And I love them
relax-
both.
Yeah, relaxing effects. Yeah. So,
Well, I'm sure have you had some beer? They did like what 420. I think they had.
I did. I've tried a few with the added hops in there, but there's so many that I've like. There's so many beers out every week that it's almost hard to remember. Like, which one had the hops in it? So Kings, I truly try to remember specific ones like that I need to get my hands on. Fluffer Nutter, if I ever see someone treating that, I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Like, why are you trading those? I'll
Right?
take it.
Absolutely.
your loss.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, I was looking on their board over here. There's a medal for this beer. And
Great
it
American
was
Beer Fest, the bronze medal in 2018.
19.
So
So
last
just
recent,
last
yeah.
year, this won medal, and already it's like a staple, I feel like, to the beer world, where people are in my DMs like, oh, do you have the Fluffer Nutter?
Yeah.
Like
Like me.
yeah, it's insane to me to see the growth. Maybe it's people stuck inside through COVID or whatnot, but it's the craft brewing scene is blowing off even more.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like harder and harder and harder.
Well, it's nice in the sense that, we were just talking about this earlier on the road. California is kind of reeling back some of the legalese surrounding it and making it a little easier for folks to kind of get
Come
the
together,
beer
yeah.
and come together and distribute this beer, because California, sadly, has kind of taken a very restrictive role when it comes to breweries as far as people being here and hanging
Yeah.
out. So it's like, you got to give us something, give us like a bone so we can keep in business and not, fail outright, because, our product is going to help California economy keep going, It's
Yeah,
like-
and they're really booming. Frozen
yeah.
Friday is the hottest day of the week.
yeah.
I have a bone to pick about that because I want them to change it to Saturdays. I know it's not as hip as Fridays, but yeah, every time there's a freaking hot drop, I can't get out of work, and I'm just like, ah. I've made a few. I've been fortunate, with my job that, being an instructor and stuff, sometimes we don't have class and I'm able to smooth talk the boss and say, hey, can I cut out early and use some of my time? Yeah, no problem. And, but it doesn't always work out that way. But, I got people like you or anybody that I can, easily hit up. And, it was cool too, because I really wanted that apricot one and I couldn't make that drop, but I hadn't got the pineapple diesel from the week before. And so one of the guys was like, hey, I really wanted the pineapple and I got extra apricot, so we just swapped it. And there
Yeah,
you go.
the
I was able to get
locals
apricot.
have been. I actually learned from Jeremiah. He's like, "Hey, look at my Instagram, and you'll find locals that'll get you what you want." And
Right.
I was like, "Oh wow, I've been missing out." And now I see people trading ones I really want. I'm like, "Oh, I got you. I'll go there
Yeah.
today."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a busy guy too, and you got the lady and stuff. So it's like, sometimes you go out of town or do something on a Friday, and then you're like, oh man, look what they're releasing today. So then now you have somebody that you can hit up. And
Yeah, they call me Frośe on the internet because I schedule my life around the Frośe drops. Guilty
Yeah, you
as charged.
yeah, you do.
I'm like, oh, my lady's like, we got to go out of town. Can we leave Friday night?
I always think it's funny. Like by let's say right before the drop happens, you're always like putting up a post like, all right, my DMs are full now. Like,
And it's-
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
oh yeah, that's funny, absolutely funny.
Yeah,
So-
it's been cool because he started No Limits this past week, and all of my friends went crazy. I have a wall of rosés right now
Yeah.
that are going out to people, and it's
Awesome.
just cool. They're all juiced, and here the
Awesome.
man is himself.
There he is.
Got him in.
He's coming in.
He's walking up. It's so hot out here.
He's been busy. We already watched it. Like, man, I think I counted like 20 or 30 people already walked through the door. It's crazy.
Oh
Open
yeah,
the
they'll
doors.
be out of Frośe today. I'm like kind of watching because I want some, and I'm like, what am I gonna get?
So obviously, we're not live anymore, so we don't have the video on, but we are recording the show. So we were just joined by the owner here, Jeremiah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. Thanks for having us out here at your awesome establishment here in Rancho Cucamonga. So, Jeremiah, tell us a little bit about Kings Brewing. What got you started? What made you want to open a brewery?
I didn't have a job anymore.
Okay.
That helped a little bit.
I was like, that's as good a reason as any.
Right.
Yeah, I had been at my job about 17 years. Operation manager for FedEx, Estes, large trucking companies. Basically, they brought me in to clean house, hire and fire. I'd fire 100 people and hire 70 to do the job.
Wow.
With 30 less people, and we'd be way more productive. And, then they just started sending me to different places to do that and things like that. Just, it was, I really enjoyed it, but it was a lot of work, and I was doing it for somebody else.
Okay.
And sometimes something bad has to happen for something good to happen. And the bad was I lost my job, and I thought, oh, man, I've been in this career for 17 years. But having been a home brewer, I just decided, I visited local breweries, all around, and I thought I could at least do that. I thought I could at least make that kind of, at least make a regular beer, which is called nowadays. That sounds horrible to say, to be quite honest. That's the wrong way of saying it, but... I made reds, browns, porter.
Yeah.
It's all your classic styles.
Yeah. We made all the classic styles, and of course, IPA, double IPA, and at that point, which was probably 6 years ago now, we did a hazy IPA, which was Juice Bomb at that time.
Yeah.
And I can show you the pictures of it. It looked a lot like his beer that we just drank.
So it didn't quite look like a hazy IPA. Right.
Yeah, I'd have to say the first time, and the second time, and the 10th time, and the 12th. It started getting better,
Yeah.
But it definitely took some time, and fast forward, several years later, and the growth is great. We're totally blessed with everything that's going on, and as far as the growth in the company, we've been able to triple in the last year.
Yeah, it's been this past year has been insane.
Absolutely insane. And what's incredible and a testament to what you've done, and something that you can look at, is like you have been able to grow during a pandemic, and that's crazy. I'm sure the pandemic still hit you, but every time I come out here, if I am, maybe you just missed it, I'm like, you need to move your Frośe drops to Saturdays. But if I do make it out here and meet my friend over here, it's the line, just seeing all the people, and it's like, and there's still a pandemic, but people still want beer, and they still want that connection, and it's like they still come here, and your brewery. What's really amazing is, and this has got to feel really good, is it's talked about all over the world. People are like, Kings Brewing, like, oh man, like when I post pictures on my Instagram, I get people from Japan, people from Canada, all over the place, and they're just like, oh, we love Kings and this and that. And I'm like, man, that's pretty cool for just a smaller brewery here in Rancho Cucamonga to
I'm like,
to
how
make
do
it
you
like
even
that.
know about Rancho Cucamonga?
Exactly.
I saw it on the maps the first day I came here, and I go, that's a place?
Right, exactly.
And my first day here, he dropped the first run of the Hydra Frośe.
I remember that
And
one.
I remember I drank a glass of that, and I called him every day for the next 3 weeks.
Can I get more?
Like, yeah, are you gonna growler that? No, just in tap. And I come back the next day. Hey, are you gonna growler that?
Yeah.
He's like, not today, young buck. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll go back home.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I moved here February, and I've been here every week since. And just seeing their growth from February till now, legendary, bro.
Yeah.
Legendary.
So one thing is when my brother and I, my other 50% partner that a lot of people don't see, he prefers it that way.
Yeah.
He likes to brew beer and go home.
Yeah.
Which is totally cool. That's why everything works for us.
Yeah.
Because he loves, he just lets me do my thing. He does his thing. We both know our jobs. But there's two of us for sure that are a part of this company. And the other one's my brother.
Yeah.
He brews 100% of the work that you see in everything that we sell. As well as we have another brewer that we hired recently, Joe,
Okay.
and we just brought on a third one, Joe's brother that you see here behind us.
Nice.
He's also starting to learn how to brew, and he's doing the canning and stuff as well.
Awesome.
He's been on for a few months now, 4 or 5 months. We've been training him.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately we had a business plan from the beginning, and it was to stay true to ourselves and our core.
Yeah.
Not to sell out no matter how much we got offered, and if we couldn't buy it with cash or money in the bank, then we couldn't get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So sticking to those, values or core things that we thought of to begin with, it's allowed us to grow at our pace, not worrying about owing anybody any money,
Yeah.
or anything like that. If everything we buy, we buy.
'Cause you have
straight
it.
up.
Well, I'd
Yeah.
say that's a good way
So,
way to do it. So.
the whole facility on Archibald, it took us over a year to build, about a year and 6 months to get to full capacity to what it's at now.
Yeah.
It was just an empty shell, and then they had a drain in the floor, and then one tank came in, and it was just little by little, and we just built it as we made the money.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now it's a fully functioning facility, and I'd say within the next year we're going to look for property to do it all over again, except we'll purchase this
Yeah.
piece of property. It will be at least 15 or 20,000 square feet.
Yeah.
It'll be more of a destination. We'd definitely like to keep it in Rancho Cucamonga, but
It's always nice to stay true to your roots and where you started.
that's going to be our ultimate goal. To, let's say 5 years from now, to have a fully functioning restaurant brewery that you can come and hang out at. There's several areas. You'll have a to-go area. You'll
Yeah.
have a restaurant area. I'd say a lot like JC at Trillium. I love how he's built his brand.
Yeah.
It's an amazing brand, and had the opportunity to go up and visit with him last year, and he showed us all around, my brother and I, and gave us a lot of insight, answered a lot of questions for us, and we really like what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Would you say that their model played into your guys' business plan or your?
No, just because we don't really know them personally like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I definitely say there's somebody we look up to, more or less.
Well,
Would you say?
That's awesome.
Would you say what you've learned through like COVID maybe played into that, or is this something you've just been thinking about all along? And
I think it's inevitable. Seeing the
Yeah.
growth on Fridays, the amount of people here,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
he's becoming more. Some people sell beer to sell beer.
Yeah.
He's becoming more of a staple to the beer community. I feel like where people come here. We wish the tap room was open. I would just chill here every day of the week, come and get a frosé and go.
You're just gonna have to put a shack in the back.
I tell him, I'm like,
Speaking of that, Jeremiah, for the listeners, you're going to be opening the tap room here pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah, we got our permit yesterday.
Awesome.
woo! Y'all heard that? Let's
That's
go.
awesome. Yeah.
Let's go.
But what we're worried about is people drinking us dry,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. But after we open, if that happens, we may have to be open a few days a week only, as opposed to 5 days a week, because we're going to start out
Yeah, it happens.
probably being open 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Give yourself a couple days to get
And
that beer rebrewed.
And the releases will go to Saturday.
Oh, BeerDad's happy.
Let's go.
We'll be
It's
seeing
coming.
each other
It's
every
coming.
Saturday.
It's coming. It's coming. And could you tell us? I know I told them this is a good time to get to talk to you right now. You have a few collabs in store with up and coming breweries and some of your favorites. So just want to
Yeah.
let the fans know you're cooking up some magic.
Yeah, there's quite a few collaborations coming out. We're still adding more to the books every single week,
Yeah.
and keeping them in line with the ones we already have, so they can continuously come out one after the other, which is not always easy to do, because you have to be able to get the artwork done, and you just speak with the people. Right now there's an 8-week turnaround on cans, so you have to be able to get it in the schedule quite a bit ahead of time.
Right. And I would say probably because of this whole pandemic, I've heard, we talked to a lot of breweries that, the whole can shortage and stuff like that's kind of
Yeah,
been a pain.
luckily we secured 1 million cans from Mexico,
Oh,
Awesome.
Nice.
so we're good for next year too.
Good. Awesome.
million cans. Can you guys think of the Frosé?
Yeah, I'm
Did
thinking
he
right
just
now.
say a million?
When you said a million cans, I watched his eyes get really
Like,
big.
that's
and
a
I'm like,
million Frosés.
he's probably going to have about 80% of that.
Yeah, I need them all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we have a projection next year of over 600,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, every time I've ever been here for a release, it's just like, the line. I was telling them the first release where we actually, because we knew each other via social media, the first time we met in person was when you guys did the collab with 450 for the peach rings. And that line was like wrapped all the way around the building, down to the backside of the alley. And
That
we
was the
hit
second time it came out.
second time. Yeah, we hit it just right to where both of us left, and 10 minutes later that was gone. I was
Yeah,
like,
and it's like that. When it's gone, it's gone. I'll message him. Is there any more? Nah. Like, no.
And I think that was it was a 3-4 pack limit. So like, and then everyone was like hitting me up. I'm like, man, come on! Like, there's only 3-4 packs. But
So how that works is they're different size fermenters. That's the bottom line.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
So if you're putting out so many cases of one beer and so many cases of the other beer, you have to even it out, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If you're using a 20 barrel fermenter versus a 30 barrel fermenter.
yeah. Well, I definitely like how at least that you do provide limits. I know some people get kind of snarky on it, but it gives a chance for at least some people to still obtain those beers. There's some breweries where there are no limits, and it's like, you get, what do we call them, the shitlords. They come in there and they just buy everything up, and then it's like, here comes the BeerDad, who's just a craft beer aficionado, home brewer, and the Brewed man over here who's been home brewing for 13 years. It's like, we just love beer and we want to try it. Then it's like, oh yeah, we're sold out. I'm like, that sucks. But it's nice here, and everything that you did now with the bright cans, like, that's awesome. When he posted that, people were so happy to see that.
I'd like to explain a little bit on the brights too as well, so people can understand that a little bit better, what's going on. So I'd say at March, April, the can situation was really bad at that point.
Right.
And there was not even the 32-ounce Crowler cans anymore. They were sold out. There's 2 companies in the United States of America that make them.
Yeah.
Only 2 companies. And they were sold out. So I went online and said, 32-ounce, something you could put beer in. Well, guess what? The 32-ounce grunt came up. And we bought about 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
We went through all 10,000 of them, by the way. They're gone.
I had a few of them.
So we got 10,000 of them, and when we got them, we're like, dang, we got to use all these things. But we didn't have no other option at that choice, and we had beer we had to move.
Right.
Fast forward a little bit, I was thinking about it, and I'm saying, man, everybody has these grunts in their house. I mean, they're not like cans that you can recycle. I mean, you can recycle glass, but, I felt like I was putting a bad item out there with the grunts as far as packaging. So we thought of something else. So we took our cans as far as the pre-labeled ones that we get, which are the normal Friday releases, and we upped those to what we believe we're going to have in beer. So
Yeah.
we ordered pretty much maxed out what we believe we're going to fill. Well, a lot of times we end up with maybe 10 or 20 cases over now. That's
Yeah.
what we're going to end up with, about 10 or 20 cases of whatever beer it is. Prior, those 10 or 20 cases would go into kegs, and then we'd put them in grunts. Well, instead of them going into kegs and grunts, now we just put them straight into the brights, which we got a bunch of pallets of those. And as soon as we run out of the pre-labeled ones, we go into the brights. Depending on how many there are, we send in an order. We get the stickers made for them, because as you can see, we started pre-writing them at first. Now the new ones that are coming in already have the names and everything on them. And then those will be released like the following Wednesday.
Awesome.
And that's going to be it. There won't be no more after that.
Yeah, once the brights are gone, it's gone.
Get on it.
Other than maybe one keg for the tap room.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited for this one too. So we started the show. We had some of your space juice, which I had already had. Absolutely loved. It's his
One of
favorite.
my favorites.
And then Josh never had it, and he really enjoyed it. And then this is another one that I actually didn't get to have, which is the
Cran.
the play on the Crown Royale. That's why you like it. But
Yeah, I love this
that can.
The
Super
crown
sexy.
sitting on
Yeah.
a pillow. If you guys can ever catch this can, get your hands on one.
So some of the stuff on the play behind these things is there's quite a bit of people that put hard liquor into frosés.
Right.
So you can mix this one with Crown Royal as well. But there's a lot of people that say, man, I mix them with vodka, I mix them with rum, I mix them with all kinds of things.
Well, you know
Which
what?
is nuts to me. They're already smacking at 7% for a fruited sour in there.
So my favorite so far for the year, which I'm not surprising because you guys won a medal at the Great American Beer Fest, is the Fluffernutter. And because I was only able to get one can of it, I hoard it for myself. I didn't even let my partner get any, so this will be the first time he'll have it. But what I was doing was, like, every frosé I got a hold of that was like similar in style in terms of the fruit. I was pouring what's that whiskey that I drink all the time? Screwball. I was pouring Screwball in there to get that peanut butter. Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna try to make this as close to Fluffernutter as I can. But it actually tastes really good. It's just obviously higher alcohol content.
And I've been wanting to ask you while we have you, when you guys brought Fluffernutter to that competition, did you try it and say, I like this beer so much, I'm gonna competition it, or did you just wing it and kind of?
No, at that point we had already came out with this several times, not in cans, but in our tap room, and it was our number one rated beer on Untappd.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And there's people calling me from all around the world,
trying to get that,
emailing me saying, how can I get this? I need this distribution and all that. So I knew in a sense what people were telling me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of went with that.
So now, even hearing that, with the pandemic, were you tap rooming some frosés before releasing them in cans? Like, people could come to the tap room before they started canning them, or do you can them first?
Prior, we would come out with 10 or 15 in the tap room, and they were all crowlers.
Okay, yeah,
All
that's
crowlers.
how the Hydra Frosé.
Yeah, we only were coming out with crawlers at one point. We put a can out here and there, but we only had 3 fermenters right there. That's all we had for a long time. So we can only put out 3 cans a month.
Yeah.
So now we have the opportunity with the other building and this building to put out
Way more.
11 or 12 cans a month.
Nice.
Wow.
Curious, what category did you end up submitting under?
Experimental.
Experimental. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and every time we entered it won in wherever we put it. So it won more than one time.
Nice.
This year we did experimental again, but we did PCH for fun.
PCH.
Nice.
That's what you gave us for breakfast.
Yep.
And that is legendary.
That was good.
It
That was really good.
doesn't even make sense that that's beer.
I'm tasting right now the Cran Royale, and yeah, you're right about that cranberry. That slaps.
I'm digging on this one big time. This is a
Oh,
good one.
yeah. You kill it, bro.
And you're right. Like, throw some vodka or Crown Royale if you want to keep it. Yeah.
Keep it legit. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of whiskey, but just recently I started getting into rums.
Oh, rum would be a lot of spiced rums would just be perfect with some of the frosés. Yeah.
Do you experiment with making other forms of alcohol? Like, do you make your own rums and stuff?
No,
or?
but I'll tell you what I do. So at home, I'll have pineapple juice and I'll have grape juice in the refrigerator. I drink grape juice every day
I love
of
grape
the week.
juice.
Welch's grape juice is always in my house.
My boy.
I drink it 7 days a week.
I love grape juice.
And I go through like gallons of it like crazy. Like that's my thing.
So we're going to get a grape juice rosé?
Yes.
It's coming, baby.
Yes.
I think in 2 weeks it's coming.
2 weeks.
Something like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
I'm down.
I'll drink that like candy,
Yes.
baby. Oh, man.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna have one coming. But that being said, I had pineapple juice in the refrigerator too. So I took the grape juice and pineapple juice and I 50-50'd them, and I loved the way it tasted. So then I made a frosé. It's gonna come out soon too.
It's personal fave right there.
With grape and pineapple.
Oh man.
And I mean, sometimes, like I said, I'm just doing things at home, and I send myself an email, I'm making this.
I gotta remind myself that juice I made today was fire.
I would say as a home brewer, I'm constantly coming across like combinations. I'm like, okay, I gotta write this shit down.
Yeah.
Or even names. I'll be like, watching a movie and I email myself, oh, I like that, what he said, just whatever.
That's awesome.
I email myself quite a bit every day.
That's dope. That's dope.
I'll forget.
Amen,
Oh, yeah.
brother. Amen.
That's so cool, and having your brewery to experiment with all the different flavors, and like Josh and I with the home brewing, getting to do that. We made a crazy ass homebrew one time.
Still got to tweak it, but
Yeah,
it's
but
it's
we
good.
used turmeric and ginger, and it was
A
honey
hazy. And honey malt. Yeah,
and it was a hazy. Came in at a double IPA,
it's like double hazy.
but man, did that thing pack a punch! It was spicy as hell.
How's the turmeric? How's
It made it bright orange.
Yeah,
It gave it a bright orange hue.
I can't think of the taste on turmeric.
it's like pepper, like
Pepper.
black pepper.
Yeah.
Like, think black pepper, like to the end.
He said he made a pepper ginger ale.
Yeah. So that's
Basically.
essentially it's a
Well,
peppery ginger beer, and then it had the little, not a whole lot of sweetness, but as it aged, the ginger came
Yeah.
out so much more, and it was just super spicy.
Yeah, initially turmeric kind of dominated, and then as we aged, the ginger like flipped over and took over.
So I got to admit, in October we're gonna do some wild stuff.
Okay.
Even one I'm scared of. So speaking of pepper,
Yeah.
let's see how pepper comes across in a frosé.
Okay.
Nah, okay.
Ooh.
Let's
I'm excited
go.
for that.
Spicy frozen.
Gotta be ready
Let's
for
go.
Halloween. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. You ever
I
had
almost had to talk the other brewery into it.
Yeah. Dude, they're like, I don't know about pepper.
So this will be a collaboration then. The spicy pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're actually both gonna make the same beer.
Awesome.
Okay.
you had pepper and peaches from Claremont?
Yeah, good. It's good.
it's good.
I like
yeah,
it.
it tripped my mind
Yeah,
thinking
I
like,
like it.
that's a hell of a fucking combo.
But
Yeah.
I kind of understand it because my fruit, when I eat like watermelon, I put pepper on
Yep.
the watermelon, so I kind of get it.
Or tahine.
Okay.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I put them both, pepper and tahini.
Pepper and tahine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, crazy Jimmy over the craft lounge there, he picked up there's a cider company. It's Honest Abe's.
Oh, yeah, I know that
Yeah.
one, yeah.
So they did they call the Mexican lollipop. So it's basically habanero and watermelon and apple cider. Fucking great. Actually, I was surprised. The habanero, I'm used to it being like fuck you hot,
He-
but it actually like balanced out pretty
He
well.
was
with the
selling
water.
it the other night during the beer garden when
Yeah.
I found myself slinging some beers for Jimmy because they got so busy. Man, they were just drinking that stuff up, and I was like, maybe I'll try it, but I never got a chance to. But
Good
it's
stuff. Yeah, if you get a chance, definitely try it.
That's
We're trying to
awesome.
source some new fruit right now as well. We haven't really messed with watermelon and cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two will be coming out in the next month or two as well. Watermelon and cantaloupe will start making its way into some stuff. And I'm really, really, really stoked about Goldenberry, man. I don't know if
Goldenberry.
you've messed with Goldenberry a lot, but we're going to drop 2 beers back to back with mad amounts of Goldenberry.
Oh wow.
And
You heard it here first. Goldenberry.
Goldenberry.
baby.
it's like, it's similar to mango to me.
Is
Okay.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I get a lot of flavor like mango. It goes
Wow.
really well with mango, so maybe one of them won't be mixed with mango.
Like a tropical storm
And
out
it's
here.
the same color as mango as well.
Okay.
Goldenberry.
It's very good.
I had a sour not too long ago that was with
Golden Gate
Huckleberries.
Froze, baby.
I think I had one with Goldenberry. I don't remember if it was from Baba or who it was from, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and that made me want to source Goldenberry. And
Yeah.
I actually sourced it this morning.
So, as far as like your brewery goes, when you first opened, you talked about brewing like traditional brews and stuff like that. Who came up with the Frosé line? You or your brother?
Oh, I did.
You did.
Yeah, so the recipes are 100% mine. Everyone to this day still is.
Okay.
I still write all the recipes for every month, get them all ready, date them, and everything. As far as brewing the beer, I don't brew it anymore.
Okay.
I just write the recipes. I put what's going to go into them. After it's put in, I taste them and say we need to add this or that, or and so like I was there this morning tasting the beers for next week.
Yeah.
I ordered a couple of things that we're going to add to it this week for next week's beer. So
I need that job.
every so every week it's a process.
Yeah.
Because every week we're coming out with a beer we've never made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
that's
are
crazy.
every week. These are new beers. So
Yeah.
you got to understand that these are beers that a lot of them are the first time ever being made, especially at this scale. So, I mean, we can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
We only got one shot at it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, before it used to be stressful. Now I just feel like,
Well, I think after a while,
I feel confident, now, and just knowing, the skills that we've all
You've built a good
developed.
team for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say,
Absolutely.
as like a home brewer, after a while, I just you just know shit,
Yeah, and if I say something and they don't agree with me, they'll say, you know what, I think we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should do this, or maybe I won't even bring something up, and they'll say maybe we should skip putting this in that beer, and let's try it, and if not, we'll put it in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
So I'll definitely take their input because they know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, this is more like just a homebrew curiosity. When it comes like the fruit beers, are you mostly doing like post fermentation additions, or are you doing it like all the way through?
Yeah.
Or is that trade secret?
No, not,
Okay.
not necessarily, but the majority of fruit is post.
Post. Okay.
Oh, really? So, like, you make a good base beer first, and then kind of.
Yeah, this beer, the Frośe is an 11% base. So before being fruited, it's 11%.
And so the fruit dropped the alcohol level?
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Well,
didn't-
Because of volume.
Okay,
You're
okay.
adding,
Because you're adding more stuff to it, and it just.
Yeah, and we actually overshoot, just to be on the safe side. So a lot of the beers are 7.3, 7.2, 7.4, even 7.5. But we just say 7 so we don't have to worry about it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
We don't want to be, caught up and have no issues or any of that.
Are you usually throwing like fresh juice in there, or you like freeze it ahead of time? I mean, as a homer, I got in the habit of freezing my fruit to kind of break it
So
up
we
a
use
little
a
bit.
100% pasteurized puree.
You're right.
So we buy it already pasteurized, and we
Nice.
usually buy it by the drums.
Nice. Okay.
So we have a special pump that pumps from the drums.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
That's the thing I see with some of the other breweries that are doing like the fruited sours. I think they're trying to try their hand at like doing the fresh fruit, but they're not pasteurizing it. And that's why you get these cans that when they ship them out, they
Blow up.
and blow up.
There's a process you have to follow.
Yeah.
And a can shouldn't blow up.
No, it shouldn't.
No.
If you know what you're doing and you're sanitary and doing everything right, it shouldn't blow up.
We've tested these cans where we've left them in the brewery for 30 days unrefrigerated, and they're fine.
Yeah,
and it
that's
gets
awesome.
hot
That's good.
out here. It gets hot.
Well, I
out
mean,
here.
Well,
you're,
yeah,
you're
today's
running
like
a clean
108.
operation. So
Yeah.
that's what that tells me. You're running a clean operation.
Well, we just know what people do with the cans.
Yeah.
As far as not putting them in refrigerators, and shipping them and doing all kinds of different
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
it's to be safe.
Yeah. Or if you're like me, live out in the desert in the hot, I try to get a package on my doorstep. It's 120 out there, and if I'm not home, like right then and there,
Yeah, you're gonna come home to
dog.
something
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
A real porch bomb.
Yes.
A real porch drum, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
That's awesome.
So what are you guys brewing these days?
He's doing. We're getting ready, ramping up for Oktoberfest. We can't have Oktoberfest because it's canceled, which is unfortunate. Because
The Marzen or something?
yes,
Well, I just
you did a pills, right?
I did a German pills last Saturday. A portion of that's going to a buddy's wedding in October, but him and another guy basically talked me into doing a Dunkel at some
those are
point.
good,
So they want me to do my last name is Kunkel, so it's the Kunkel Dunkel.
Nice.
We've been bothering him for like the last 2 years to make a dunkel, so it's finally gonna happen.
So that's on the queue next, and then
That's the
I
type of stuff I drink.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I kind of miss my mark for the summer, but I want to at least maybe do it. I usually around June I get a bunch of Chandler strawberries.
Yep.
And puree them, put them in the freezer, and then I do a strawberry blonde with them.
Oh yeah.
That comes out pretty good. I want to do that again.
Yeah, I'd really like to make a Marzen myself if I can here.
That'd be
soon.
dope.
Yeah.
Call us up. We'll come help you.
We do them once a year. We did an Oktoberfest Marzen last year.
Nice.
It was my favorite beer we made all year long.
Oh,
yeah.
I have such an appreciation of German style beers after actually getting to go over there and
Yeah,
go to
I seen the pictures.
Oktoberfest.
That looked fun.
I'm like, man, like the beers obviously over there the alcohol content's a little higher than we're used to
Yeah.
over here, but just the style of brewing, and then got to get some of that history. And we went to a brewery like in the mountains in Germany that is run by monks, and they brew the beer, and it was just an amazing experience. That like whenever someone tells
That's
me
a
they're going to
vibe.
Oktoberfest, I go, listen, I know Oktoberfest is the shit, and yes, you got to go. But while you're there,
Go
it's
check
only,
out these monks.
You got to go. See,
You gotta go see my monks.
Not Oktoberfest
Yeah.
at the Fairplex.
Well, and it's funny. We found that out because of a guy we met on the train, and he ended up befriending us and inviting us to his town, Dusseldorf, and showing us around. But he was telling us about how great Andex was. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's only like 45 to an hour ride from Munich, like via train and bus. Totally worth it. The food's amazing up there. It's up on a hill. They call it the Holy Mountain, and it's a real working monastery. And the monks do the brewing, and the beers are amazing. And talk about like affordable, like for a whole entire stein, like 33 ounces, it's like €7. And so, man, but the beer's so good.
I do love drinking in Europe.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you definitely if you get over there, you got to go to Andex for sure.
See, that's kind of what got me into the home brewing, because 16, family did a trip out to Belgium, and Uncle introduced me to Chimay and beers like that. And I'm just like, fuck, I didn't know beer could taste like this. Like,
This isn't Budweiser.
yeah,
What is this?
came home, couldn't find it for shit for years, and then I luckily moved up to San Francisco, and it was like local Quickie Mart on the corner had it, and I'm like, yes.
It's crazy watching the people, bro. You're like, they're coming in. I'm like,
In and out. It's
all
crazy.
morning. It's
Actually, I was going to
nuts.
say, I got one I want to do again. I did this as a collab with a buddy of mine recently. It was a Belgian triple. He ended up getting a hold of the South African hops. Are you familiar with?
Yep.
Yeah, so we ended up using Southern Passion.
Yeah, that's a great one. I use
Oh,
that.
yeah, and it would just work perfectly with the triple because you get like those nice bubblegum notes from the Belgian with the nice fruity stone fruit and everything.
Yeah, when we first opened 4.5 years ago or so here, we had a Belgian Dubel. We used to make quite a bit. Use that amber candy syrup in it. I'm telling you, when we opened, we had every single style up there on tap.
Nice.
Every style.
Got to represent everything.
I mean, every style.
Yeah, I was letting them know, like,
No.
rosés are my favorite, but you really have a nice
I
selection
don't think I was
of
here.
everything.
I want to say, I think you had, the first time I ever came here, I want to say you were in business for at least 2 years. I'm trying to remember what you had.
So
on
we were
tap.
almost figuring it out.
Oh, yeah. So, but it's funny because we always talk about it like when a brewery first opens and they do something similar where they'll have every style, but then it's like they all taste the same.
Yeah, no,
You run into that. But
Yeah, we did pretty good. We did pretty good of having a different style beers, but it's definitely not the beers that are going to get you the 4s and 5s on Untapped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You drink a red, they're going to be like,
it's a red.
I don't even like reds, 2.5.
Yeah, true. They're just
Yeah,
trying it to
you know?
try it.
It's like, what? Why'd you order it? No.
That's like remember Don up at Idlewild Brew Pub. He was talking about his first brewer that he hired on, and taught him the tools of the trade. And he made that red, and that's why he calls it. After he tweaked it and made it actually red, but he calls it should have been red because the first time he made it, it wasn't red at all. It tasted like a red, but it wasn't red.
That's a good trick.
While I
For sure.
have you, I really like your peanut butter brews, but what is your favorite ingredient to work into a beer? Like,
So the beers that I like the most, I can tell you, one is banana. I like anything with banana.
yep, your bananas are fire.
My wife hates banana.
Interesting. Okay.
Anything with banana and anything with only fruit. So green was the last one we did.
The green smoothie?
Yeah, it was 3 fruits. There was nothing else in it, but so we 99% of the time we add vanilla bean to these.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones we did it.
Is there a reason you add vanilla bean or
Because people are looking for a certain taste,
sweet, that certain sweet?
sweet and sour. They want both at the same time.
Well, I was going to say, vanilla gives that nice little robust sweetness that
Balances
kind of
out a little bit. Yeah.
blends everything.
Yeah, so I mean, vanilla is part of the recipe in a frosé.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like not even an ingredient.
But you like the truly
Yeah,
just
it's
a fruit cocktail of a frosé.
Yeah, I love the fruit in general itself. I don't mind having marshmallow as well. As far as
Yeah, I love that marshmallow dog.
The fluff.
I used to be
That love.
I used to be addicted to the peanut butter, where I just wanted
That's me.
everything
That's me.
peanut butter, and I think I did it.
You
too much.
overdrink
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because when you gifted me some fluffernutters, my eyes lit up. I was like, he's giving
man.
me his fluffernutters? Like, he obviously has drank.
You guys want a cold one? I can swap that out for a cold one.
Yeah, go for it. Let's get
I know
it. We're going to try out some fluffernutter for
My
the
favorite.
boys.
I'm stoked.
This is their award-winning peanut butter and jelly marshmallow sandwich, and this batch has their in-house kitty named Buddha is the mascot for this beer, and it's legendary.
Buddha was a chill cat. Did you go say hi to Buddha, Josh?
Oh, where's Buddha?
Back
they're by the
here,
fridge.
yeah.
Okay, I'll have to go check.
I don't think he's moved the whole time we've been here.
Not at all, dude.
He's stoked. He's
Well,
like,
you guys were talking about Buddha. I'm like, where the fuck is Buddha?
you're like, did they, like, were they hitting the dubes before the show? Like, I don't see no Buddha.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's pulling out some of
There's
the
a-
most recent collab as well.
Nice.
One that you can drink now, and there's one you can take later.
Oh.
He's only got one can of it.
Thank you, brother.
And then here's one that you can take.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
hey,
Thank
there
you.
it
Yeah, we
is.
can appreciate that. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
So,
Gifts from the boys.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Fluffernutter. When I
And is
saw
that
when
one
I when
space juice. Am
Yeah,
I
space
saying?
juice,
Yeah,
yeah.
gifted you some space juice.
some
One
good.
of my favorite. I'm glad you got to try that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to try this earlier.
When I saw the Fluffernutter when it first got released, and talking about Great American Brew Fest and all of that, I was like, oh my god, I got to get my hands on this because I love peanut butter. I love it in stouts, just anything. I love it in my whiskey. Dude, it's a vibe.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
But
I love it.
yeah, and so then I finally got it, and it just stared at me in the refrigerator, and I was like, I want to save this for the podcast. I want to save, and then I was thirsty one night, and I was like, I can't do it anymore because I think it was in my fridge for 2 weeks, and I was like, that's it, done. Poured it, and I was like, oh my god, it was worth it.
I just got the mental picture of this little kid like, squeaky boys, come at me, bro. Come on.
There's the
You
little.
want this little bitch?
I had the little winged guy and the little devil horn guy, and they were like, the little winged guy's like, save it so you and Josh can talk about it on the podcast, and the little devil guy was like, you will drink the Fluffernutter. You want the Fluffernutter, and I'm like, fuck, dude. So finally, I
don't
did
know.
it.
It almost feels like the angel would be like, "This is some good shit.
Yeah,
man. You really got to get in on this."
Listen to the guy with the horns. You want the Fluffernutter.
He makes a good point.
Dude, it's. I honestly don't even want to drink it. We could just take these cans home, and I would be okay.
All right, Josh.
Who needs
Crack
the
her open.
review?
All right.
Let's do the Fluffernutter. This is a award-winning beer from Kings Brewing. Thanks again to Jeremiah for
Oh yeah, Definitely hooking
swapping us out for the cold one.
Yep.
And then he just gifted me one to take home.
Of
I'm
course,
super stoked.
the noise that everyone loves.
There it is, crack. Everybody, ASMR. That was for you, Jimmy. ASMR.
And Chris.
So look at the color on that. That's what I really like.
Almost making abuse here.
You are. Just go ahead and then taste that.
All right. Eli here.
So this is an amazing brew. Fluffernutter.
It definitely
Wow.
pours like a almost blood red color. I love it. You can get you last little remnants there. There we go.
Oh man, look how thick it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh. So I want you to take that chalice, this beautiful King's chalice they
All right.
provided us, and just give it a good sniffer treatment.
It's putting your nose in like peanut butter and jelly. Like if you could
This is
just
it.
smear it on some bread and stick it to your face.
This is it. Yep.
I got my liquid bread.
Like,
all
yeah,
right here. It's all right here. Just threw the whole thing in the blender.
Oh my god.
I'm loving you definitely get the jam notes and you get the peanut butter notes like big time already right
And
up
it's
in the
funny,
nose.
like, so people see like, again, they see this and hear me talk about it, and they're like, that just sounds way too overly sweet for me, and this and that. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's
It's
like I've
tart.
had some really sweet beers.
Yeah. No, this is like just
It's
even.
like a full body beer.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I've had some, like, say, 450 North where it's like, I'm like, okay, this isn't a beer. Like, I was like, I think candy apple. It was like just drinking a candied apple.
or like
I didn't-
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really Kool-Aid.
This one is, it's a beer, but it's also a dessert.
Yeah.
So like you're getting both worlds.
Yeah, and again, it's like the same with space juice. You open and close your mouth, and there's berries. Open it again, marshmallow. like what? What?
No, they did a really good job with this one. It's like nice even keel, not too tart, not too sour, just good all around.
I love the residue that it leaves on the chalice.
Yeah.
just to remind you that you are drinking a hearty beer.
Yes. You know, a sandwich in a glass. Good job with the Fluffernutter.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Now he knows why.
No, it's good. No, it's got it's basically just right there in the middle, just hitting all those perfect marks. You know, it's not throwing out of whack in one way or the other, and you get all the layers, just boom, boom, boom. So, nice little jammy peanut butter on the nose, and then, you know, segues right into the flavor.
I just
Yeah.
like it, like, again, like space juice. Like
Did he
I
get the
told him-
last pour?
Yeah, I got the last pour.
Yeah.
I think his glass.
I got the thick.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like,
I-
you guys need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mix yours together and try
Yeah.
it again.
here.
It's like one's super thick and then he didn't have nothing in his.
All right, let me swing that up and here. Get some back to you.
And it's funny, this is like what started it all for me. They did like a surprise drop of Fluffernutter, and I missed it. It was the first Frosé
Same.
I missed.
Same.
And I messaged him and I was like, I missed it. And he was like, it'll be back. And he wouldn't tell me when it was coming back. So I came back every day for like a month. Like, yo, is it here? No, I'll take what you got. Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Here's a question I have. Maybe you guys can help answer it.
Okay.
This is a question I have. How come if the information is there for the people to read, they don't read it?
You're right, because I'll see a post sometimes like, is there any left? No, I should have just read that.
Sold out.
I should have just
No,
read
I see
that.
it. That's what I love about your social media, because like sometimes I just want to pop my popcorn and read some of the comments in there where like people are just like asking, and I'm like, I just read up there where it says sold out, and they're
The
just
funny
like,
part is there's a couple of guys that answer for us.
Yeah, I'm one of them now where I'm like in there, like, yo, I'll answer that for him.
with the
I'll
little
see
fingers
that.
pointing
and
up.
then, and then when they don't answer, I'll message them like, "Hey, dude, you're not answering."
Yeah.
It was funny. He started doing it, messing around one day. This guy,
Yeah,
and then now he just started answering everybody's questions.
there you go.
And I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
I was going to say,
awesome.
you're talking to someone who works at a library. That's my career. And we put signs up all over the fucking place. But it's like I call it the biggest irony of libraries, because everyone goes in the library not to read.
Right? Yeah.
Because they don't read the fucking sign.
They're reading their phone as they're walking by it.
Absolutely. Man, this is damn good beer.
No, it was good.
So good.
I really like this one. This is one of those ones where I said it has a lot of fruit flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I sourced a new pineapple because I wasn't happy with the last pineapple we got.
Okay.
So this is the new pineapple.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's funny because it's like pretty much 50-50 blackberry and pineapple,
Okay.
but it's like purple pineapple juice.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
referring to the Electric Frosé
Yeah.
collab
This
with
is the drop
Ranch and
from
Blade
yesterday.
that just dropped yesterday. Each brewery did their own take on each other's favorite brand of beer, essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, this Electric Frosé is a pineapple fruit juice in a fucking can, dude. Like,
That's funny
sorry,
'cause-
I don't even know if
No.
I can drop that on a podcast.
You
but
can say
it's
fuck.
either-
I was going to say, I've been dropping them all
it's
day.
either.
Yeah.
Like,
The beauty of the internet, it's a free.
Yeah,
free
so there's
reign.
this little check mark I get to check, and it says, "Is this podcast
Adult or
adult
something?"
orientated?"
okay,
Yes.
okay. Like, I never know.
Hey, little kids, we're going to
know.
talk about beer today.
Hey, don't make me play that song again. Did you listen to last week's episode or last episode?
No, I have not yet.
Okay,
I'm catching
so
up.
I've given Josh not really a hard time because it's great, but when Josh starts talking about a style of beer and how it's made, and like, because this guy's like a walking damn beer Bible, with his brewing knowledge. But so he was explaining to us about how what was it, Baltic Porter is
Baltic,
made.
yes. Yeah.
And so I was giving him a hard time. So I'm like, every time when he talks about like the history of how something's made, I always have Slick Rick in my head, the bedtime story song.
Yep.
So I played it on the last episode. I'm like, all right, Uncle Joshy, tell us a bedtime story. Tell us about the beer. It's freaking hilarious. So now it's always in my head every time he talks about beer. But yeah, and I saw people posting about that drop yesterday. They're like, what do you mean this is pineapple? It looks like grape juice. I'm like, well, if they
I
say
love
it's
the
pineapple,
can.
we're gonna, because I've
Or-
never had a frosé not taste like what it says it.
I
it's gonna
love
taste like.
pineapple, so I love that the can art on this one is like a heart, like a pineapple heart. Like,
So, Branch.
that's what he did.
You said it's Branch and Blade, the collab. That's
Correct.
they're in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, correct.
Okay, yeah. So
And I think they do. It's called. Is it called Electric Love or is it called Electric? It's called Electric Love. That's their staple, like frosé, if you will. So
Okay.
Kings did an Electric frosé, and then they dropped their version.
They dropped Electric Frosé as
Yeah,
well.
but their version of Electric Love as a frosé.
nice.
Right. Usually, what we're doing with most of the people is we'll call it Electric Frosé, and they'll call it Frosé Electric.
Just swap
Yeah.
the name.
Right.
Yeah.
We put whoever we're collabing with's name first, or
Okay.
Yeah.
before Frosé.
That works.
Hydra Frosé, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
Okay.
and they
That was
and they
dope.
called theirs Frosé Hydra.
Yeah.
So
Very
they put
cool.
our name first. So that's basically how we usually do it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Easy to the point, Now, are you guys usually doing the same recipe but your own variant, or
80% of the time we're doing it different, and that's
Okay.
usually my call.
Okay.
I don't want people doing comparisons on them. I want people to enjoy them.
got it?
So
That
that has a
make-
lot to do with it.
That makes sense. So.
If you put the same exact beer out there, it tends to make people want to put them side by side and compare and say what's better or what's not.
Yeah.
And
Well-
to avoid all that and let people actually enjoy the beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I know,
we'll stay away from that.
like in the homebrewing circles, and I guess this is where it differs between homebrewers comparing and like people who are just drinking the beer comparing. Because people who are just drinking the beer, they're going to look for faults or some stupid shit or compare, say one is better. Whereas with homebrewers, we intrinsically know you can have the same recipe, but if two different people make it, there's going to be differences.
Absolutely.
It's just the nature of the beast, you know.
It'll be different every time.
Yeah, different water source, different.
And that's what I liked
ingredient
about
source.
the Black is Beautiful thing,
Yeah.
because we've tried 3-4 different ones I think now, and even the ones that stuck true to the style and just did the exact recipe, they still tasted different.
Yeah.
None of them have been bad.
Go.
Probably.
Try out
He's
this,
gonna crack it.
pineapple.
The most unique one that I had though was that California Wild Ales one. That was really cool. I highly recommend that one for you, Eli. It's a traditional barrel aged sour. They're down I think San Diego. We discovered.
Are you guys gonna do more wild ales, Kings? I know you said the Warheads was experimental, and that one's on pause.
Yeah, so we're thinking about doing them again, but we're gonna get a fooder. Prior
nice.
we were doing it in barrels. We just
Yeah.
want to have one fooder that will Solera, and what that means is we'll take out 25% to 50% of what's in that fooder and refill it with 25 to 50% every time, so it's constantly
aging.
Churning.
it's
Yeah.
constantly being souring, and we're constantly
Nice.
getting the same type product out of it. And, I mean, you can purchase
So you can
nice.
just change the flavor once you let some go.
Well, it'll just be a base. It'll all be a
Okay.
base. Whatever you pull is what you'll flavor every time.
Wow.
The beauty of wood age foeders, because it's just like how you do old school sours or even a lot of like wines too, for that matter.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
entered a sour as well in GABF this year.
Nice.
We got medal last year for our barrel aged fruited sour, so
Yeah.
we put another barrel aged fruited sour in again.
Nice.
Are you doing anything for the virtual Great American Beer Fest? Did they have you doing any videos or anything like that this year?
No, I didn't sign up for anything.
No?
Okay. We have way too much stuff going on.
They're crushing it right now.
You're so busy.
Going on.
We were actually supposed to go to the Great American Beer Fest because since our podcast finally hit a certain amount of downloads, they consider us media, so we get in for free. You just gotta obviously pay your own way. So we were talking about it because the flights were so damn cheap. But I just knew, like in the back end, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna get canceled. It's gonna get canceled, and sure enough, it got canceled. But one year we'll go because I've always wanted to go to it.
How many views you need for media
2,000. Is it 2,000
on one video? Is that, or
Not-
No,
total?
collectively.
collectively? Yeah.
You need to have enough of a
like
feedback.
he was way overqualified
Like,
as Glass Game Strong. He could get in for free too. Yeah, for sure.
You could too. Like if
Oh, yeah.
you had someone work for you as media
Yeah.
because of your following, you could definitely
Yeah. That's all you got to
It's
do
all
is sign up
content.
as media. Yeah.
all content.
So, but yeah, I've always wanted to go to that because I'm like, closest thing to an Oktoberfest, I guess, here in America. Is, not the German element of it, but just the amount of breweries and.
I was gonna say,
the-
very
Yeah,
easy to
so-
get fucked.
We went to GABF 2 out of the last 4 years, and we go to all the events around it, like the Casey Brewing events,
Right.
or all the other events at Fresh Craft, and the other places where they have like tap takeovers of
Nice.
whatnot. And then we usually go to the GABF for one day.
Yeah. I haven't actually been to GABF. I meant, as far as like big seminars, was the one I told you about earlier, the homebrew conference. Last year was out in Providence, Rhode Island. So that was fun. Went there a couple of days, but they had, like you said, they had a lot of like little side
Right.
things going on out in town. I know that year our homebrew club was part of a competition with Melvin Brewing,
Oh yeah.
and we were like in the top 6. So we wanted to go out and represent the club and stuff like that. So the
What's your homebrew club?
Coachella Valley.
Okay.
So
Yeah. He's He doesn't really. He's the president of the homebrew club.
Okay.
But they do a good job. And what's really cool about his homebrew club is, they stick to the basics. They like to have fun. But witnessing firsthand, because I got to do, they invited me to be one of the judges for their homebrew competition. And they were at the Props and Hops Festival, which was out at Palm Springs Air Museum. And several big breweries were out there in part of the Props and Hops Festival. So his homebrew club was with the Inland Empire Homebrew Club right next to Hangar 24, which is, everyone call them sellouts now. I don't know what you call them, but they're a huge brewery. And the line for the homebrew club out the door, Hangar 24, like 3 dudes in line. Like, I'm like, and to me, I was like, wow. And because the beers that they made, like, it was just, you had your Mexican lager, which was one of the biggest hits there.
That is my favorite beer to drink year round. I don't
Mexican lager. Yeah. So he had one that he had like a hint of lime in it already, and oh my gosh, dude, those people, because it was kind of hot that day in Palm Springs, they were going crazy for that beer. And then
we call that hype.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was just cool. It was cool to see like people just like standing in this long line for a home brew club, and that's when I knew. I was like, dude, Josh, your club's killing it. Like, you got all these big breweries out here.
It's so funny how someone will go after the long line before the short line. That must be good.
It must be good. The hype, right? Yeah. And then they had, you guys had some crazy stuff. You had the porter from Inland Empire. They won the competition that
Baltic
I judged.
Porter.
And then you guys had mead.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was really
Are you
cool
familiar
mix.
with a guy by the name of Chris Anderson?
Yeah, I know. He's the owner of Coachella Valley. He just called me last week on myself.
Yeah. I mean, he's no longer with...
Well, yeah, he
does like John Fearless.
Right,
and
he does a few other things, yeah.
But yeah, he does mead. He was one of the original founders of the club, and
I know.
there.
I knew that when you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
know him personally.
Okay, yeah. He's the one who game me recently the Southern Passion hops and stuff like that.
I got him
so.
from him as well.
Nice. Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
the one. He's like drug dealing status, meeting in a parking lot.
So-
Yeah, we made a Digital Ghost.
Nice.
That was, I think we did that one with Good Word 6-8 months ago.
Okay.
And that was the last time we used Southern Passion and Southern Tropic.
Nice.
Yeah, and I enjoy both of them.
Yeah, great fucking hops.
I'm really huge on triple IPAs. I drink them.
We were just talking about it because you're going to know. You're the man here that makes it. The triple IPA that I, so far, that I've liked the best from you, for whatever reason, I couldn't think of the name. Falcon Heavy. Falcon Heavy.
Yeah.
God damn, that was a good beer.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Glass Bong Rip is my favorite.
Glass Bong Whip is so good.
The next two that we're gonna put on here are my favorites as well. They were the last 2 triple releases. Cucamonga Fog. We do Humble Sea. We have a couple kegs of that we're gonna throw on.
All right.
Nice.
And then triples are for kids.
That's awesome.
I love the
Triples are for kids.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, right,
the
right?
cereal IPAs. Like, was it Juice Ministers where you did the Lucky Charms?
Vanilla, yeah.
That was so good, bro. I drink that shit like it was juice. I was getting sloppy. My girl was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "This is so good."
Well, that was the thing.
This is
Like
so good.
with the Falcon Heavy, like it was a triple, but it didn't drink like a triple, and I'm like,
Oh, none of them do. Have you
Dude,
had
it's
when's the last
bad.
time you had Glass Bong Rip?
Yeah, do
I
you have
haven't
any
tried
on?
that.
Do you have any here?
Oh yeah.
Get
All
some.
right, hey,
Get
check out some Glass Bong Rip, guys.
So good.
By the way,
while he's doing that, I know I've been sipping on this release from yesterday, the Electric
It's a
Frośe
good fucking
collab.
beer.
Dude, he is not kidding when he said straight pineapple.
Yeah.
Pineapple juice.
No, I
dude.
could smell it. Like,
Remember my
Yeah.
post yesterday? I was like, "This is pineapple juice
dude,
in a
this,
can."
This right here is straight pineapple. Like, dude, my wife would love this. She loves pineapple juice. Like, she would drink, like, it would be funny because she's not, you know, Amber, she doesn't drink beer, like, down. Like, she'll have, like, a little taster
Yeah,
glass.
but if you told her this is a pineapple juice concoction, she just take it back real quick.
She would drink the whole can of that like nothing.
Yeah,
And then I'd watch her go like this.
well, that's what I was gonna say with this one is like get the pineapple on the smell, you get it like up front in the taste, but then it just finishes with that nice little blackberry he was mentioning.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
it's like
tangy.
right there at the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
it's
a
so
little
good.
thing, but it's good. It's like,
Damn.
really makes it light. I love it.
These crap breweries, dude, are taking all my money. Like
Taking all my money.
heater after heater after heater.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
After it goes down, you can pour it in some glass.
All
There
right.
you go.
Oh man,
Look at it. Look
looking
at her.
good.
I drink that every day.
Look at that beautiful color. I'm going to take a picture of it while the head's going down. that's gorgeous.
You know what's so good about it? It's like, hold on, let's see here. This is what I like the most about it. It's going to take me a second.
When the master appreciates his craft.
That's when you know it's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
When the man says, "This is it." Right?
Oh yeah. No, I think every brewer's got like that one or two that it's like.
We're talking about 2.5 months old, and it's drinking like the day we
Wow.
canned it. And I mean, for a beer not to malta, for not to go bad. I mean,
Oh yeah.
this is what I've been
Well, I've seen like
working for.
he's like, I did it.
sometimes the hazies they send to they'll settle and you'll lose some of that haziness to them. Not this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
since day one, I never understood that. I promise you, I can't understand that.
I can't see you anymore, bro.
Right? I just thick glass bong rip.
And while you were walked away, we were talking about your collab that you dropped yesterday, the electric froze. That's fucking good.
It's like right? It's like
Pineapple juice, like
Pineapple
straight.
juice.
Like I just
Yeah.
I took a pineapple, I ripped the top off of it, and I squeezed the juice right in my mouth.
So like
And it gets you
Damn
drunk.
good.
Like, what is this magic?
I sourced a bunch of new fruit.
Yeah.
A bunch of it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't happy with the last strawberry. I wasn't happy with some stuff. So I went to other companies. I'm paying a little bit more. I'm not going to change the price of the beer, but I am paying a little more.
But you appreciate the quality that's coming out tenfold.
Quality's everything.
Well, I
Quality's
can.
everything.
So, was this a different pineapple than you used in the diesel?
yes,
Okay.
that pineapple and strawberries what got me mad.
Okay.
Yeah, that beer should have came out a lot more with flavor. I mean,
Right.
it should have popped a lot more based on what we put in it.
Yeah.
But I felt like, me personally, I felt like it was okay, and I don't want to be
Right.
putting out okay beers. I want to put out good beers, great beers. So, if I put something out and I feel it's okay, then
Yeah.
next time I better fix it.
yeah.
I enjoyed it. The other night, I cuvée it with the last week's drop, the apricot. Was that apricot raspberry with the double fudge?
With the fudge.
So I did pineapple diesel with that, and I loved it. It just added a little bit more tartness to it.
I am my worst critic.
Yeah.
I gotta say that. I do beat myself up about a lot of things.
That's what he has me for. I'm in his DMs every day. You kill it, bro. You kill it, bro.
Stroke his ego a little bit. Yeah.
What the fuck? You kill it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I definitely. If I make something and I feel like I could have done better, I'll beat myself up a little bit about it, and I'll go research and see where I can get something better from, even if I got to get it from another country, and some of the fruit I'm sourcing from another country.
All right.
So in order to get that fruit shipped, I mean, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. And I probably should have put the prices up, but I'm not going to do that because I'm happy with how things are going, and there's no reason to change it.
Yeah. If you're still selling out and
Yeah.
pushing it and everyone's
But
enjoying it.
some of the fruit I'm paying almost double for,
Okay.
and then shipping is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Because you got to get it fresh and all of that, or
you have to have fresh pasteurized puree. The reason of it being pasteurized is you don't have. Prior to this, when we were doing small, we would freeze all our fruit, and freezing it.
so
Would,
fresh frozen. Basically.
yeah, it would make sure your beer doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
it doesn't infect it or anything like that. So having it pasteurized, you have purchasing it that way. It's pretty expensive. I mean, for a little box, you can pay upwards of $130, $140 for one box, and you may have to put 100 of them in a beer. So it's 100 boxes that cost $140.
You're not going to want any of that, Josh. Just
No.
pour it back in my glass.
Just not-
This is glass bong
It
rip.
definitely adds up.
Okay.
And vanilla's expensive as
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
crap.
I figured that out.
Yeah.
We just had to buy it because
And that's a staple
Yeah.
ingredient in
Yeah.
Frosé.
So
So when
the-
you're wondering why they're so expensive,
The wife-
look at
the-
vanilla, baby.
the wife and mother-in-law are bakers, and they had to re-up on their organic vanilla that they buy. And God, a fucking little tiny ass bottle was like $50, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah, they're expensive. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Vanilla's
No.
not cheap.
No.
So I just took a sip of this glass bong rip, and I just want to say the sweetness that counteracts the hoppiness is superb.
Well, what I got,
It took
what I
4
got.
years for me to figure that
So
out.
what I got here, I did a nice investigation sniff here. The hops hit me right away, and I'm like, okay, this is a big beer right away by sniffing it. But then the first taste, I'm like, it's not a big beer, but I know it's a big beer.
Like what just happened?
Mind fuck.
For real,
Yeah.
dude.
Good.
You are killing the
That's
game.
good.
bro.
So, do you tend to sway more towards like wheat or oats for the hazies?
We don't. Well, I guess if you're talking about, I believe.
Or
we
it
use-
depends on the recipe.
I think it's both percentage wise.
Okay.
As far as flaked agents, it'd be flaked oats,
Flaked oats.
Yeah.
and then as far as grain, we pick up our wheat through the grain.
Nice.
It wouldn't be a
Okay.
flake type adjunct
Got
agent.
it.
It would be something like maybe white wheat or something to that effect, whatever to that effect. So we pick the wheat up from an actual grain as opposed to an adjunct like an oat.
I gotcha. So,
Yeah, this is crisp,
though.
full-bodied, glass bong rip. Get on it, people.
I'm huge on SRMs. I'm huge on a color. I'm huge
Yeah.
on hitting a certain look.
Me too. Yeah.
right there with you.
And
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. We didn't hit the mark till this last year.
Yeah. This is a damn good beer.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
first started coming to Kings, he looked me in the eyes and he goes, "You coming at the perfect time." He's like, "This is the perfect time to be coming every day."
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the beer was bad, but when you're striving for something in particular, which I have been for some time, and when you find it, it's harmony. It means a lot to you, and in a sense, it does give you a little bit of confidence and make you feel like, you know what, I worked fucking hard to get here.
Yeah.
I mean, we made 400 different recipes of this style of beer to get this
To
beer.
get here.
Right.
You know what I mean? This wasn't 3 or 4 times trying over a couple weekends. You know what I mean? This is perfecting a style over 400 different recipes, changing every single one until you get it till you feel it's right.
Yeah, you're getting all those variables
Whether
locked
it's 5
down.
or 10 pounds of something per recipe, that 5 or 10 pounds, and you continually do that, and it's been a crazy process. But I'm very proud of how our IPAs are.
No, I mean,
Very
this is
proud.
definitely a good example. I was going to ask you, you doing this in growlers or crowlers?
Yeah,
or-
we have crowlers. If it's to go, we have 1 keg left.
I know what Josh is taking home today.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
1 crowler.
One crowd.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I go home and drink 1 crowler. You're
Done.
buzzed.
Yeah.
It's over 10%.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big beer, but like I said, it doesn't hit.
So
I don't
No.
get. The,
It's
No,
so
I don't get the
sweet and
heat from a big
smooth,
beer.
bro. It's like
That's what's dangerous about it.
Yeah, it's counteracting, and we don't mess with lactose or nothing like that.
if I was
That stuff in our
sitting
beer,
outside
that's
in the heat
100%
right
hot.
now, I would be
you.
drinking this by the gallon.
And you'd be tripping because that is not a heat
No,
beer.
that's
You'd-
what I'm saying.
You would be jacked.
I just when I first grabbed some of these, I drank 3 that night, and my girl was looking at me. I was
man.
like, these are so good, and
That's-
she's like, "What is wrong with you?"
That's what I
And
did
it's
with,
like-
with the Falcon Heavy. I had so my uncle was in town. He's actually opening a brewery back in Branson, Missouri.
Nice.
And he was out here helping us move. And while I was at work, I couldn't make a drop, so he came out here and got Space Juice and the Falcon Heavy, and we drank. It was the 2 4-packs between him and I. Oh my God, we were out by the pool. And we shared a grunt of Space Juice and then a 4-pack each of the Falcon Heavy. Oh God,
Yeah, that's more than enough.
Yeah. Like,
that was a rough night, but it was so good because I'm sitting there drinking that Falcon Heavy like it wasn't heavy.
Right, yeah.
It was so good. But this is good. This to me, I think lighter on the burn than the Falcon Heavy, and that's what would make this dangerous for me. Because
Yeah.
I could drink a lot of this, and it's juicy. It's not. It doesn't feel heavy to me.
No. Actually, I mean, like, you definitely get sort of that fluff lightness on this one. I mean, hops to me.
I'm really huge on residual sugars in
Yeah.
the triples.
What else?
But you kind of need them to balance out so you don't get that hop burn, especially with the hazies.
We don't do less than 6 pounds per barrel on
Okay.
the triples. So if we don't counteract that properly, that's going to destroy your throat.
Oh yeah.
okay.
So it's like I said, it's been a process.
Awesome.
This is on tap right now. When your tap room opens, will this be on tap?
It probably will not be.
Oh, because
We're
you
on
said
our
this last
Last
keg.
keg.
But we have 2 other triples we will open with.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Speaking of when you open the tap room, I know you're going to have food out here. What kind of food are you going to have?
So we have teamed up with a local restaurant. They changed their menu, and they're still working on it at this point. They brought in fryers and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually a mile from here, and they're called the poke and grill, and prior they made poke.
Okay.
Bomb poke.
I love poke.
I love their poke. It's really good. But now they do a lot of other things. They do meal preps. They're doing shrimp dinners, salmon dinners. They're making Cajun shrimp bowls, Creole bowls. They got a full menu that we're gonna have. So the way it's basically gonna work is you go on their app, you order the food, they roll up in the car, call your name, you go to the car and you grab it.
Awesome.
Nice.
They're 1 mile from here. I already ran it all to the health department. We got it all approved. And
Let's go.
in order to drink beer, you have to make an order of food. It's not our rule; it's their rule.
Yeah.
Same for Riverside County for us. Yeah.
Pretty much,
Same.
yeah.
It's same for everybody. There's just a lot of people out there kind of doing their own
I heard
thing.
though, like
LA's
LA's a little worse though.
LA's
A
been
little
fucking
stricter.
over breweries like hand and foot.
I mean,
Yeah.
LA's got a lot of people, though.
They do,
Let me tell
but-
you.
but-
It's a lot of people, bro. We got a lot of people out
Don't get me
there.
wrong, it's a lot of people. The part that I find a little weird, especially because San Bernardino and Riverside have been able to handle this shit, and they're kind of in the same boat. But LA is basically telling these breweries, like, unless you got a kitchen on site,
Yeah, you can't
You
do it.
can't open.
You can't do it.
and I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
But it's really just like the space, because a lot of, if you think LA, I'm downtown, any brewery downtown right now, they're seating people out on the street. So if you think LA street, you're not gonna get a food truck out there. Like, it's like it's really hard. It's
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
like,
really hard.
logistically. Yeah, you're just kind of like SOL.
But that's why I mob here. Like doesn't matter. Every week, he's like, when I first started coming here, I would come here every day, and they thought I was a local. And then he's like, "Where are you coming from?" And I was like, "Downtown." He's like, "Downtown where?"
The first time
LA.
there's no downtown.
What?
the first time you told me that you Ubered here, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, that sounds like a $800 Uber, but it's not that bad.
It's like $90 each way.
Yeah, it's like, but for the Frośe, you got to do it, bro. They're like literally, I've tried a lot of different breweries, and I appreciate a lot. Like, I like certain breweries, their go-to beer, but for an overall, if I could order anything from here, I like it. Like, I'm not the biggest stout drinker, I'll take a King Stout. I'm not the biggest hazy IPA drinker, I'll take King's hazy IPA. Like, I know anything that I buy here is quality.
Yeah.
Where it's like other breweries, I've tried their other beer and I've been like, you shouldn't have done that. Like, you should have stuck with that one you're good at. Where here, I feel like if they drop it, they put enough time into it where they think it's good enough.
You can see, like, well, obviously with Jeremiah, you can hear the passion in his voice and talking about everything that he does, and but you see it when you see it like all over the world, like people posting like how much they love the Frośes, how much they love the hazies. Like it's a big deal, and it's a testament to what you're doing. But I mean, the beers are. I haven't had a bad beer from Kings.
You're lucky.
Yeah. I mean, well, the first.
I have. I've had lots.
Yeah. First time.
You had all.
I'll be honest. The peach rings. I'm just not a big fan of peach and beer. But I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm okay with this, and it was funny because people were like, they're like, "What? You didn't like it?" I'm like, "No, I like it, but I didn't. I like the Sprinkle Me better." And
what
that
if
was weird.
it had let's say if the peach rings turned into a peach rings cobbler and it had cinnamon and brown sugar?
might
Yeah,
change
like
it.
if you did a peach rings
cobbler.
PCH kind of deal, like,
Yeah,
woo,
peach cobbler.
chill
Yeah.
out, chill out.
Well, who knows?
So here's one.
Anything's possible.
Here's one that I want you.
Chill out.
I want you to try to work on. So, and I told Marcus from Baba Brew House, I'm like, try to do this, because the BeerDad, one of my favorite candy bars, and it's hard to find. Abba Zaba, which is my ultimate favorite candy bar. They made an apple Abba Zaba. So if you could do apple and like vanilla taffy with peanut butter in a Frośe, look at you.
Okay, hold on. I can do it, and I've already sourced Granny Smith apples and another apple, and I've tasted them, and I want to use them. But the problem is, like, this much apple costs more than a Frośe.
Apples are freaking ridiculous. Yeah.
Like, you don't even understand the price.
Oh, I know.
Really?
We go to Oak Glen all the
Wow.
time to do apple picking, and like I love the ciders
Yeah.
that they make up there.
If we
Oh
did
my
something
God.
in apple, we'd have to sell single cans
Yeah.
for like $10 or 4 packs
down.
for $40 or something like.
Apple Abba Froze, $10 a can. Sign me up.
Yeah, we're gonna end up on somebody's blog somewhere for that for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I try to stay away from doing. I mean, yeah, we do a little bit of madness, I guess you can say, but there at some point you got to just. All right, I think we're good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I do want to make an Apple one.
Yeah.
I love Apple, and we're definitely gonna put Apple into one. But for it to be all Apple, I don't think I can
It's
do
tough,
it unless I
yeah.
could source it from somewhere.
I was gonna say, do you still do like experimental, like small scale batches for like maybe just the tap room and stuff?
Yeah, we have.
Well,
one.
that's what the Warheads were almost. They were like more experimental small batches. They'd be sold out in like a week or something.
So what we did with the Warheads is I had barrels of sour beer that I would take out, and usually fruit. So instead of having to fruit that sour beer, I would just put it on a bunch of fruit and sell it as just the same type of style like this.
Right.
So those were just barrel-aged beers that we were doing.
And they're
Warheads with.
fantastic. Like,
But they're like, literally like Warheads.
Yeah.
it's so tart. It's like
Hit the back of your
Right
jowls, and you're just like,
the moment it hits your lips, you kind of get that like Warhead face. Your lips scrunch up, and you're like, oh my god.
So I don't know. Personally, it was a little bit much for me.
I'm sure your Warheads were probably. I didn't get to try it, but
I still have a crowd.
what was that? What was that company that came out with the Warhead Sour series?
Artisanal ales, I think. Does
Yeah, everyone I've talked to said no bueno.
Nah. The King's Warheads are. They make your lips smack, bro. They make your lips smack.
And they really do.
They like
Those
will
things
really
are-
be.
You're pouring it out of the tap, and it's like, oh shit, this is like lemon or lime just coming straight out of it.
Oh, dude, I like beers like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
Yeah, good.
When we
freaking
open
dry
back
sour.
up, we're gonna open back up with a couple. I mean, I have sour beers still that I've held on to for some time, like barrel aged sours.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have like 4 or 5 different ones that are just in kegs that I've held on to because you can save them forever. You know.
Oh, yeah,
like stouts. We have. I mean, Field of Kings, barrel aged Field of Kings. I have a couple gallons of some BA bars. I just have.
Watch out, stout season is
bunch-
almost upon us, baby.
it is.
Kings
It is.
kills those pastry stouts, boys.
And
I love a good stout.
We're planning on coming out with some. I have this idea. I don't know. What would you think? I mean, of course, it have to be the right ingredients, but a Froṣe stout.
Oh,
I could see it. I mean, you're kind of almost there, especially with
What-
Fluffer Nutter
or
here.
with the PCH.
No, I mean
like,
stout.
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
I mean like.
Or what do
a
you?
real- like not taking a stout, an actual like base type stout,
Okay.
And
base type
making it a
porter,
Froṣe.
and just like putting the, like I'll tell you what would work right now: blueberry cinnamon coffee.
Yeah.
Something like that. Blueberry, cinnamon, and coffee. The blueberry would just be ridiculous amounts of blueberry in it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know, man. Going down, I don't know if that
no, you're on to
He's
something.
like, ah.
No, you're onto
He's
something.
like, I'm drinking it in my head, and I just don't know.
I'll tell you why. So Coachella Valley Brewing
right.
did a blueberry espresso sour, and
even maple too.
it was top notch. It really was, because people are like, well, I don't know about blueberries and coffee. That kind of sounds kind of
Yeah.
crazy,
Well,
but
we,
That's
ha-
right
we,
up my
we,
alley.
we have that. We have a Dia Noche, so that's our blueberry, coffee, and cinnamon stout.
okay,
So it would be something similar to that.
yeah, but in a Froṣe sour,
No, in that stout, the same stout,
yeah,
just quadruple the fruit.
Yeah.
It would be in the stout. There would not a Froṣe.
Yeah.
I'm saying, take.
You
a
want the
stout.
same amount of fruit that's in a
It would
Froṣe
be
in
a
the
stout,
stout.
100% stout, made like a Froṣe.
oh,
See, I could see like stout
I'd be
cranberry.
into that.
I could see stout cranberry salt.
Could you picture drinking a thick stout?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, well, I guess they are.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
normally
they are
kinda-
kind of thick.
I guess
Yeah, they are kind of
Yeah, I
thick.
guess the viscosity these days have changed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking Guinness here, you know.
Right, pastry stouts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't even a big fan of chocolate, but your bars, it's fucking stupid. Like what? Like what? Insane, dude.
Jeremiah, what beer do you like to brew the most? Like, what's your favorite beer to brew? Like something that challenges you and you're proud of it.
Well, it's hard for me to say because I haven't brewed a beer in over 3 years.
Right, you got everyone's working for you now.
Well, how about as a home brewer, what was your favorite beer to make? When you were at that level.
I mean, I love throwing hops at stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was home brewing, I'm sure we put way too much hops and stuff.
As most homebrewers do
It's like,
from
get
time
more,
to time.
Get more hops. Like
I'm trying to make a Pliny
it's not
clone.
even no
Turn it up to 11.
no ratio at all. It's just like over hop it.
Okay.
I love a good crisp, like Oktoberfest
There you go.
lager.
Yeah.
I mean, I can enjoy those forever, every day, all day. I'll never get tired of them. If I had to pick one beer to drink, it'd probably be something like that.
Nice.
Awesome.
What have been your proudest beers? I know you've gotten awards for Fluff and Nutter, but is there one like where people have skipped out on where you were like, yo, I love that Frośe, like that's the one, or is there like a beer that you yourself you're like, oh, I'm really proud that Kings dropped this?
My favorite, it would have to be several and have to be more lately, and it's the triple IPAs. 100% across the board, the Tippos.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is.
This was damn good, the one we had.
I don't,
Dude,
long ribs,
I still have. It's been 10 minutes and I still have it in my
I
mouth.
don't even want to make any other one.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to make double IPAs. I don't even want to make regular IPAs anymore. I just only want to make triples. I just love the triples. I love how they come out.
Yeah.
Very proud of them. And yes, we did enter in GABF this year with our triple A's.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. You heard it.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully, you get some good feedback on it. 'Cause that's a fucking smooth triple.
Yeah.
Do you know how they're doing that this year? Like, well, is it just judges
I think the judging
checking it out?
I think the judging will be pretty much the same as far as
Yeah.
everything else. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just probably
Yeah.
social distance in a room somewhere.
I think it's gonna be the same type process.
That's one next time Josh
But do you
gets
send them like a mini keg or something? Do you
No,
send
no,
them
no,
cans?
Bottles,
or-
right?
I sent all cans.
Cans.
Except the sour, barrel-aged sour was in bottles. But it's up to us. We can send cans, growlers, kegs, whatever we want. But we just know whatever we send, we're not getting back.
Yeah.
So
We-
we always send crowlers, 16-ounce cans or glasses, whatever is packaged in already.
Okay.
And I usually 2-3 months ahead see what beer I'm going to have at that time and enter whatever beer we're going to have at that time. Even if it's the first time we ever made it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Almost
that's your
every-
confidence now. Like
Every
you said,
beer, every beer we send up there is the first time we ever made it.
But
Every
you-
beer we make is the first time we ever made it. That's what we do here.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do they normally just do the three can allotment, or do they usually ask for more for GABF?
No, so you need like on certain beers you need like 8 crowlers. On certain ones you need 10.
Oh, okay.
Like
They got a lot of judges.
it depends.
so you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
go through the.
Well, there's higher number categories. So all the hazies.
I was gonna say like hazy IPAs.
Yeah, there's a lot more entries. So you go further. So you have to have more beer to go further into the contest if you
That
make
makes
it and
sense.
whatnot.
Yeah, because they do probably like a round robin where just like eliminating as much as they can, so they can really dial in what they're looking for.
So there's a few stages you have to go through.
Okay. Yeah, I just recently getting ready to send out some bottles to the Maltos Falcons in LA. They're doing
Yeah,
a
I
little
know those.
homebrew comp. See what, just a general, like randomly see what they
I
say.
went to one meeting, one of their meetings one day.
Yeah.
That was like before we opened, 4.5, 5 years ago.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, usually our club we do the props and ops every year, but we had to pretty much nix it this year because it's just there's no way.
Everything got canceled that we had
Yeah.
all plans for.
Well, we had
So
also
it's
plans on doing another homebrew comp in May, and that was like right in the middle of things, and pushed it off to July, and then that wasn't going to happen. So we had,
That was like our anniversary, April, May,
Right.
June. No anniversary.
yeah, we're just like, all right, we're gonna next year maybe. And it sucks too because that one is, we call it the R Festival. We partner with a animal, like no kill animal shelter up in Idlewild, and we try to raise money for them and stuff. So it's just like I felt so bad because normally I'm at like almost a half of their budget comes from like this fundraising effort. You know, it's like
Yeah,
shit.
and if they don't have it. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
It'll come back.
yeah, it will. No, I'm looking.
That's why I was
forward-
like, for like your anniversary, it's like you're gonna have a double anniversary by
Yeah.
the time we're
2 times the
we're
fun.
here, right?
So last question for you. I know this glass bong rip came out on tap. What are some of your favorite things on tap right now?
Speaking of on tap, I don't think we have very much beer on
Yeah,
tap.
I remember he was saying we cleared
Right.
you guys,
We have
the fans.
6
We
beers.
cleared this.
6 beers.
We cleared this brewery out this week, boys.
Yeah,
I just want y'all to know.
I've seen it.
6 beers on tap, and out of those 6 beers, 3 of them are going to tap out, and we'll put another 3 on and have still 6. But that being said, of course, when we open the tap room, I'm always prepared for something like that. So
Right.
Let's go.
You kind of need
Who's
that.
mobbing the tap room with your boy Frośe? Let's go.
we're gonna have
Fill in
too
your
many.
living room, making the lady happy.
My lady is mad right now.
Oh my!
She's like, "You're lucky these taste good, because if you keep taking my fridge, I'm not cooking you dinner."
What's the Uber say when he comes and picks you up and you have those like?
Oh, it's
pallets?
actually fun. On my way here,
how's
they
your
don't
air
really
conditioning?
notice where I'm going, and then they see the Hop logo, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, you haven't heard of Kings?" And the last 4 Ubers I've gotten, I've given them a can of Kings as a tip on my way
Nice.
out, and they've like messaged me after the fact, like, "Yo, I'm going to that brewery next week. That was amazing." And now my security people in my apartment building, because I always need the dolly to bring my orders upstairs, they're like, "Are those UPS boxes? Is this what you're usually carrying down?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is Kings. Do you want one?" I gave 2 of them, and they were like, "Yo, is this yours? We need all of those."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You need to join the list."
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Slide into my DM.
I'm
Like,
like,
get in there early.
"Are you gonna protect my house when I'm not here?" Okay, I'll give you 1 or 2 every other day. Look out for my girl, but it's crazy, bro. They're heaters every week. It doesn't make sense to me, because I'm like, yo, it's a new week.
Yeah, it's just crazy, like to see every week, every Friday, watch the drops. You know, like 1 or 2 drops that you come out with, and just the crazy different flavor combinations, and then I watch it like I'm bitter at work because it's Friday and I can't get out because the boss says no.
Next week's the last Friday.
I'm like, oh,
You heard it
shit,
here.
Saturdays
are coming, baby.
But I'm like, dude, and then I watch it, it sells out like that. I'm like, oh,
I do give out hints. I mean, if you look at the last 3 or 4 posts, there's a new hashtag on there. It says Slushy Saturdays.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it just, people don't pay attention. There's always something there that lets you know. Always something there. And
Read the fine print,
that's
baby.
only been there the last couple posts. When we decided it's going to Saturday, then we put it
Now,
out.
will you start posting? How will this go? Will you post on Friday to release on Saturday, or will you?
you're gonna do it day of, or you're gonna do Friday?
Or will
Yeah.
you start doing Tap Room Friday to try that? How's it gonna go?
No, the way it's going to go is we'll most likely post Friday for Saturday releases.
Okay.
Okay. And when will you open at 12 Saturday or 2?
12.
12.
Perfect.
So you heard it here. They're gonna start
And
announcing
the
Friday.
first thing we do before we open is we're going to walk through the line and chuck chairs. So if you think you can put a chair in the line and go sit in your car, that chair will not be when you come back. It will be over a fence somewhere.
Yeah, we all have to deal with the heat, so let it be known.
Don't be that asshole.
Don't be that guy. You won't get your Frośe.
I mean, you will, but you'll have to climb a fence to get your chair, and it'll be in the back of the line.
Hey,
And I don't think anyone in line is going to care.
That's awesome, because that used to drive me nuts when Electric was still doing their drops, and you'd go stand in line, and these guys would put up their canopies and their chairs, and they're nowhere to be found, and you're like, I'm just gonna move your shit because I'm gonna move in front of you, and I'm gonna go get my cans. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we didn't release one Saturday. Experienced it a little bit, and just we just make new rules the next week. That's it. You know.
I mean, what I can say for listeners or whatever, and obviously there's a ton of our listeners that are into Frośes. If you can't come here and you see the long line, don't get discouraged. It moves fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've never had like the one with the peach rings.
that was the longest line.
We
I
were
think,
we
for
were
us.
behind the building where we started.
And even then,
Yeah.
that it's the day I was like, yo, this line was crazy. And Jeremiah was like, yeah, I don't like that. That won't happen again. He's like, nah, that's not cool.
Yeah, because usually
it's hot.
if I am able to make the releases on the Fridays, like if I get here right when you're about to open, it's maybe halfway down this side of the building, and
well,
it's not that
how
bad.
long do we got till it's going to cool down here pretty soon, right?
Soon, yeah. Well, we're gonna have some triple digits this week,
right.
and then I think going into next week we're gonna just start dropping off.
Yeah, we're going to get into winter in the next couple of months. So
Yeah, I'm hoping by October we'll start getting those nice fall.
fall, yeah, and then we got So it should cool down. But you know what? You know where we live. Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because
So
it was
I was gonna-
112 today, boys.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say a
Warm.
couple years ago, me and some buddies did a collaborative homebrew in middle of October, and I swear it must have been the hottest fucking day of the year. 'Cause it was like 115 that day in October.
There now. We're gonna
All
do
right,
that
all
right
right.
now. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Let's bust that open.
Let's get it.
Swish out some water here.
Let's get it.
Sour pickle, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
So
I know you're gonna call your buddy to do.
well, unfortunately, he texted me. He can't be on the show. So Carrillo and
okay.
what? Shout out to you, buddy, down in Houston
Yep.
for sending us this best made pickle beer. We're still gonna have you on the show. I got one more can. So the next
Okay,
episode, we're gonna try to make that happen. So you'll be on the show for sure. But we're gonna try it here, and we got Jeremiah's gonna try it here. One of the owners of Kings Brewing. So I myself love pickle juice. So this is a good beer. And I'm already thinking making micheladas with it, and but I know Joshua over here hates pickles, so this is going to be good.
I'm literally
Whiskey pickleback.
Watch this. Like that's it. That's all I'm going for right here. A nice little splash.
Just a little.
Yeah, that's all I need. Because I've actually had this fucking beer before. So, and I'm not gonna lie, like they probably make great fucking beer, but not a fan.
Pickle. Smell it.
Oh fuck me.
Josh said, "Oh fuck me."
Sorry, I just took a sniff of that. Like what the hell?
Wow.
Oof.
Look at that. I mean,
It's clean. It's clean. I'll
yeah.
give it that. Presentation. They got presentation in spades. Yep.
This thing smells. It smells like whiskey needs to go before it.
Yeah.
Maybe. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
I know.
I like to drink pickle juice right after I drink whiskey. I don't know if anybody does that, but I'll drink whiskey and then I'll drink the pickle juice to just.
So this
Nick-
is
Nick's the heat.
Bruce Duke's wife, he said, don't drink it.
She did.
She said, don't do it.
This is Martin House Brewing, Texas, sent to us by one of our loyal listeners, Carrillo and what. He's been wanting us to try it, and stoked. Unfortunately, he was going to call in, but he got tied up, so he's going to be. We'll have him probably on one of our next episodes because I still got one more can of it. But they make two different variations of this. They have this one, and then they have a spicy version.
Wow, that's really a pickle.
It-
What the fuck? It's not that bad. It's like a pickle. It's literally
It's like you
pickle
just
juice.
bit into a
I feel
pickle.
like I might need a chaser on this one here.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
When I say I fucking hate,
He's like,
He
I
hates
hate
pickles.
it.
Yeah, he hates pickles.
like it's not just hate it. It's I
I even seen
Jeremiah's
Jeremiah's face right now. He's like, I don't know about this one.
is it bad? I can smell the from like 10 like a foot away here. I can still smell it. All right, like it. Salud.
What is that's a beer?
It's a sour for pickles.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah. Sour pickle beer.
Can't do it. Ah.
It's a gimmick beer.
So I'd say that's
Ugh, yeah.
pretty close to the worst beer I had this year.
Oh, there you go.
Right there behind you. Yeah.
It's funny because it's not for me because I love pickles.
Oh my!
So I'm like, I mean, beer-wise, like for a gimmick
He's
beer.
like, that's bad. He's like shaking his head like that's
Oof,
pretty bad.
I think you're right. You probably need a little whiskey or something to kind of like.
Yeah, if I would have drank whiskey before into like a pickleback, I would have enjoyed it probably. But just, I mean, it definitely tastes 100% like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Tastes like dill pickle, and I love pickles, but
I feel like they just took the juice and threw some carbonation, like just force carbed it.
that is strong, huh?
Yeah.
That thing is strong.
Yeah, like I could smell it from like a foot away. Like as soon as you crack that can open, it was like I
mean,
smell that.
It was cool trying it, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
Heavy on the pickles.
Oh yeah.
And I guarantee you, somebody else will drink that, and
Oh yeah.
they're gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
Dropped it?
Ah crap! I'm still burping it up.
Just secured some of your Bab collab from the New Hampshire drop. Stoked on that.
Nice.
About to try that out. Woo. It's hard when the Frosés drop out of state and I gotta hound other people on the internet.
You're gonna be hounding them for the next few months.
Right. It's gonna get lit here pretty
Yeah,
soon.
if you guys are out of state and you love Kings, keep an eye out from your local breweries.
Wow.
They're doing another one with Mortalis, I know. Baba Brewery, the Texas homies. You guys are going to get some Urban South collabs with Kings. Looking forward to it, man. They're really helping push some of these other breweries who aren't... they're just helping push the community of breweries. So it's really cool to see Kings give back to their peers by collabing.
Yeah. I love this whole because before the whole collab
Italy?
thing in the craft beer industry didn't happen as much. And that I've noticed, through this pandemic and everything, a lot of breweries have been hooking up, and it's great to see the big boys like get together and do stuff, but also like Jeremiah said, like hooking up with some of the smaller local breweries and different small towns and cities and stuff like that. That's awesome.
It's honestly, up until the pandemic, I really didn't know how tight knit breweries were until this point.
I think it's Italian.
Seeing the Black is Beautiful movement was insane.
Portuguese.
Just seeing a whole
Good.
bunch of...
How many have you actually gotten to try?
I've tried Claim 52s. I've tried Kings. I've tried 2 others. I think Mortalis did one I tried. All of them have been amazing.
If I can highly suggest you need to try the one that San Diego brewery California Wild Ales makes, because it's a sour. Black is Beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah, I
really
tried
good.
the Hydra. The
Italian?
Hydra was sour
Yeah, so
as well, and
this
that
is
was
a
really
friend
good.
of mine. So this one right here, we went to Italy a couple of times.
Okay.
And we brewed with this brewery, Piccolo Birrificio Clandestino. He actually, Beer Luigi is the owner.
Nice.
He owns two locations out there. One of the top breweries in Italy, all kinds of medals on all kinds of different things. And a friend of mine came out to visit, and he sent that with him.
Nice.
To give to me. I love visiting out there in Italy. It's amazing place. The craft beer scene is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's starting to come out, right? Like it's getting bigger because it's hard to compete with the wine industry over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is one of the guys that, so for a Russian Imperial style with raspberry,
Yeah.
is what's in here. He's got quite a few medals for
Nice.
a lot of different. He tripped me out because I went and I seen he had all those barrels open. His bungs were all off, and they were like barrel-aged stouts. It's like, what are you doing? He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you got every so often you open them and let them breathe, and then we close them back up. And I was like, oh, we don't do that over there. Like, they'll get infected. Like, And I was just like, they were so good, and their process is just. He has a really cool process. They do a lot of open top type stuff as well.
Okay.
And they turn it into the same. They end up with the same product as we're making. Like they can make a frosé that might start with an open top fermentation. You know what I mean? That ends up going into a tank and being super fruited. Well, they're not. I wouldn't necessarily call them frosés, but we've done a lot of cool stuff with them.
Well, this will be the first for the BeerDad. I did have craft beer in Italy, but not this kind. So I'm stoked.
I was just
At
thinking,
least.
me and a buddy went out to Madrid, Spain, a number of years ago, and I remember almost everything was like that, just pale, like Budweiser S type beer.
Yeah.
But we ended up hitting up this one bar that had a few like the darker Spanish-made, Italian-made beers. And
It'll be good to wash the pickle beard out
From
of.
the back, I just want to shout out Kings Brew Wifey out here
I
and
see her.
Kings
She's
Brew
working.
Vic. They're
Has-
holding down the fort while we're all out podcasting, and they always show awesome hospitality. So I just want to shout out to the Kings Brew.
yeah.
You guys are good to me.
It'll be quite different. It comes from
Oh, yeah.
a different place, but it's cool to experience a different craft from different parts of the world.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like those darker, like more maltier beers.
What is that?
I thought I don't know why I didn't see more of those.
It's like a kind of like. Oh God, I want to be nice, but I don't know how to say it because my lack of terminology to use.
I feel like it's a lighter version of a stout, right?
Quite a
That's
bit.
super
Mouthfeel.
surprising.
The mouthfeel, but much lighter version, but the
Yeah.
flavors there. Like,
Yeah,
intense flavor.
you're not going to catch no maltodextrin or no lactose
No.
in their beer.
I was going to say, I get definitely like there's coffee notes coming through.
They're going to get a lot of flavor from the grain
Yeah, I
and
was
the
gonna
fruit
say.
and what they're actually using, and it's going to be true to style.
Yeah. The raspberry is not popping as much, but maybe as it opens up, it'll.
Yeah, it's not popping. It's just there. I definitely taste it.
Yeah.
You can smell it though. If you
Yeah.
open it up a little bit. I can smell it. Definitely smell coffee.
I just
Smell the
love
raspberry.
it. So this is what country?
Italy.
Italy. It's
Florence.
it goes down really
He
easy.
has two places in Florence.
It has the heavy stout taste in my mouth, but it drinks like water.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's nuts. Like I could drink a few of these. Like,
They're 10% also.
yeah,
Yeah.
it goes down like water. But when I like think about what's in my mouth, I'm like, oh, I get drunk off this real quick.
Oh, good job with that, because you even get like just a subtle, like maybe I'll call it like wild funk maybe, but it's just
That's from how they open the barrel.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But it's like good bugs, good
Yes,
funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes with experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
to know just
Yeah.
enough to.
I can't do that.
Josh is like, what's happening in the background?
Yeah, I was like we're getting some
I
piano.
feel like we're playing. We were drinking an Italian beer, so I had the Godfather theme playing in the background.
Like, where did that come from? Looking around, looking for a piano right now. He got me.
I felt like we needed the classiness in the background. That is a good stout, though.
Very, very, very smooth compared to what I've
This will
tried.
remind you of Warheads,
Okay.
Firestone Rolling.
except without all the fruit in it. They make killer beers.
Yeah.
Prior to you should,
Yeah, fuck it.
prior to opening the brewery, I was at Firestone Walker probably 2 times a year at least. I
Oh,
drive
it's a
up.
Brett, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good bread.
They're about a 3-hour drive from here, but I'll just go and I'll get a
Is
hotel
it only
room.
3 hours?
Yeah, I'll get a hotel room right across from them.
Are you going over near Solvang and all that?
Yeah, I go over there as well. Yeah,
Yep.
and just hang out there for a day, and just drink beer right there.
Oh yeah, great spot.
So good friends of ours that one of the hosts of another podcast, the Target Practice Podcast. What's up, Paul and Cody? They are up there, so they're at Firestone. That's like their favorite beer.
So a friend of mine used to have a brewery down in San Diego. They made something called Purple Drink. I'm sure you heard of them.
Belching Beaver.
Toolbox.
Toolbox. Okay, I know because Belching Beaver made Purple Drink last year.
Now they
Yeah,
did.
okay.
Yeah, but prior to that, Purple Drink was that was made by Aaron and Spencer out of Toolbox.
Okay.
Aaron ended up leaving and going and doing I believe, Baghaven, I believe, the McKellar. He went out there to run he's their head brewer out there now, but he was, prior, he was the brewer in San Diego at Toolbox. Well, anyways, they all ended up shutting down and whatnot. And Spencer went out to Japan now, and I think he's doing beer out in Japan or China.
Talk about a dream job. Oh, wow.
It's called Dream Beer.
Dream beer. Yeah. So Japan is like,
Oh wow, what the fuck is this?
that's good, huh?
I got a lot of them, all different kinds.
Oh,
So-
I need another
flavors.
gift box, my bro.
Yeah.
This is gas.
You like the Brett, do you?
What? I love traditional sours, like that barrel aged
that's good stuff.
sour makes my
It'll
lips smack.
say how many months it's aged or whatever on there usually. But
Yeah, this one is 8 to 36 months.
so do you know how they originally started their sour program there?
Up at
Firestone?
Uh-uh.
Barrel Works? So you know who Jim is, Jim Crooks?
yeah.
All right, so he used to make he made their clean beer, and I'm gonna totally destroy the story, but the gumption of it is he had like some sour barrels that he put beer into and like stored them aside, and like I don't know the story very well, but he did it hiding. They didn't know he did it. He did it behind their back, the owners. And he started selling it or whatnot, or like on the side, giving it to people, and everybody loved it. And I'm saying it completely wrong, I'm sure, but hit him up and ask him the story how it started. It's so cool. He did it like
Low key, he was
Yeah.
just being a rebel, like, yo.
against the bosses, like
Side hustle kind of thing going on.
yeah. They had a lot of-
Noted.
and then before you know it, he had like 30 barrels, and he's like, I guess I got to tell them,
Yeah, they're gonna notice some point.
Yeah, he's badass, man. Jim Crooks is badass.
Nice.
So, King's employees, if you're thinking of something clever, just run it. Just run it.
Don't tell Jeremiah.
Just
Somewhere in the
run
back
it.
corner. Hey, maybe Buddha's got something brewing over there.
You know, two people that I can say that I look up to that nobody's ever asked me this, and I'm sure I've never said it on a podcast or anything to anybody, but there are two brewers out there, and they're local brewers. and I think they make some of the best beer in the world.
Okay.
And,
In the world, wow. Who are they?
Bob, he's the owner of Highland Park.
Okay.
All right, Highland
And
Park.
Evan, he's the owner of Green Cheek.
Green Cheek.
Green
yeah.
Cheek, I'm
I've heard
very
of-
familiar with out in Orange County, right?
I think those two guys make some of the best beer around.
Are you gonna do any collabs with those guys? Put them on for me, brother.
I would.
Maybe.
I totally
Oh,
would.
yeah,
But
alright.
I don't personally know them.
Yeah, okay.
Like that. I totally would do it. Those are guys that I've always looked up to
That's cool.
prior to opening my brewery. I mean, the West Coast IPA that comes out of Highland Park is ridiculous. I don't think there is a better one.
Okay,
You know
I'm
what I
gonna have to try that.
Not that that's all they can make. I mean, I've had oysters in a beer before from them, and it was good. So I'm just telling you, like,
That's what you would definitely recommend for sure.
and not only
Oyster
that,
stout.
When you go to the Dodger games, they're across the street from Dodger Stadium. They're right in the back of the hill on the back of the stadium.
Nice.
So it's like you can have beer and walk over to the game.
Okay. Won't happen for me.
I'm gonna
Everybody
do it.
knows. Everybody knows that BeerDad's a Padre fan. I know you guys are Dodger fans, but yeah,
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, I don't know. They might be playing there.
right? Yeah.
You got to go root for the home team.
Well, right now you can't actually go to the games.
Oh, yeah.
But one of these days,
you can
I
pretend
would
to be-
love to go and
well, you
check
could
that place out.
pretend to be a paper cutout.
Yeah.
So your
Right.
brewery is 4 years old, correct?
Yeah, it's more than 4 years. April would have been 4 years for us that we opened. We opened April 30th, so I guess we're approaching about 4.5 now.
Nice.
So any of my other craft brewing brewers out there, stick with it. Stick with it. That's my biggest advice. Is
It's
stick
been-
with it and stick with what you know, and you can kill it.
Yeah, this pandemic's definitely been a challenge for a lot. And I mean, you've probably seen it, and we've seen it because we've talked about it on the show. Some of our favorite breweries have had to close.
Yeah.
Down in San Diego, which obviously the market's kind of oversaturated down there, but it's sad because you being this is something that you personally put your time, your energy, all your savings into. To see somebody just like lose their business like that, it's really tough. But it's right now the game is becoming creative and adaptive to everything, and you've definitely done a great job with that.
Weekly,
yeah.
changing it weekly.
Yeah, you just gotta be able to roll with the punches, and I'm really happy that you're able to open your tap room back up next weekend. That's really awesome. Definitely, bring. Obviously, you have a bunch of people lining up for your releases, but to have people here in house and enjoying company and enjoying other people, it's what the nation is looking for right now. They want that because that's what craft brewing and craft beer is all about, is bringing everybody together. It's more of a social thing. It's not nobody's a lot of people think, oh, it's alcoholics and this and that. No, it's not. It's people, like when I go to breweries, like my favorite thing to do is brew hop. I love to go to a certain area that has several breweries and just get a flight at each one, and so I can try. And sometimes, well, it depends on the brewery, I might do 2 flights at each one. but just try all the different beers and experience everything. You meet some cool people. I've met so many cool people in the craft beer industry. You and obviously Josh. Of course, it's awesome that you had us here. And that's what I love. And so it's cool to see the place is starting to reopen, and it's a little different. It's the new. You got to be outside, but one day we'll be back to normal. But I'm glad you're able to weather the storm for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it as well. We're going to take it day by day. We're not going to rush anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of breweries that have been open in our area. Every brewery is open. We're the only brewery that is not open.
Yeah.
And the breweries have been open for over a month. But, we don't want to play games with people. And we don't know. We kind of like to let things right out a little bit, see how they're going to go. We don't want to open for 2 weeks and say we're not open again, and then we're open, and then we're not open. And
Absolutely.
So then you just start making people mad.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to be that brewery. And also, when we opened, we want to know that we were going to open the right way with approvals from everybody.
Yeah.
And we seeked all those approvals. We got them on, and we can open today if we wanted to. But, we want to give our staff time to be able to come back and be ready to work and let them know, hey, it's time to do it again. And so that's what we're preparing for in the next week or so to get back open.
Awesome.
Yeah, doing it slow and steady, do it right, and everyone's happier for it.
That's great. Now, so you're the tap room officially, is it Saturday or Friday that you open?
We're looking at next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay. At noon?
Yeah.
Noon?
So that
Okay.
if we do that, if that ends up all going down this Friday, that next Friday will be our last Friday can release.
Okay.
And after that, they'll be done out of the south side of the building.
Down.
Boom.
I know.
Okay.
I know someone will be standing in line over there. But then,
Already know I'll be
right
there
after
every
he's
week,
done, right after
baby.
he's done over there, you just take a quick trip to the other side, grab some good food,
Just
and
so it doesn't affect the tap room, So if people just want to come in, 'cause
Absolutely.
there's a lot of people, believe it or not, that just come to sit down and want to have a beer.
that's what it's all about. That's what I love about going to
And
breweries.
a lot of those people haven't had that opportunity.
Oh,
So we're not gonna. We don't want to make them have a bad experience by having a line to Arrow to have a beer.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's going to be a separate line.
Okay. No, it makes sense. I mean, our buddy Jimmy over at Craft Lounge, he worked his ass off getting his beer garden kind of set up in a parking lot behind his shop
Yep.
there, and it's now just been kicking off and doing great.
Yep.
But up until that point, he was trying to do everything by the book, get all the legalese out of the way, make sure, okay, can I do this? Can I do that? His partner Jason was just stressing,
Well, you also got to look at the public as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to start bringing people in here and you have a crowd of people and people are starting to get sick and all these type of
exactly.
things.
You don't want to
So-
be known as the hot spot.
So that's why you let it all play out for a while. You let things calm down and then you inch your way into it. You just don't dive in the pool.
Well, that's kind of like where I'm at the library right now. Our director initially wanted to kind of just jump in both feet, and all the staff were like, "Nix that shit, man! Like, let's back it off. Let's inch this forward. Do it safely. So if we have to go backwards, we're not having to start over again. We just inch back.
Yeah, and at the same time, there's expectations out there from your customers. So in order to meet those expectations and meet them the right way, you have to go out and find out everything that you need to pass on to them.
Yeah.
So they're educated and they know what they have to do as well.
Right.
Just to say, all right, free for all, we're open. I mean, now
Yeah.
now you're just putting everybody in a bad situation. There's no reason for that.
I would say I would make the analogy of like brewing, where you have to control all the variables to make sure you have the best brew possible.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, because there's some people that want to come in and enjoy a beer,
Yeah.
and they're going to want to sit at their own table, and you know what? Maybe they don't want people crowding them, being around them. So we're going to have to follow all those rules. So we had to put a lot of things into place.
Yeah.
Purchase a lot of signs, put some stuff we're going to hang outside, stuff we're going to put inside. I mean, repetition.
Get all the staff on the same page at the same speaking points. Like, okay, boom, boom, boom.
And so, I mean, I think we're ready to go, man. And
Let's go.
Quite honestly, I feel
Let's
like
effing go.
the public is ready as well.
Yeah.
Let's go. I need my frozes on tap.
I mean, and at the end of the day, everyone that's coming here is 21 and over, and they should be able to follow rules. So,
Right.
Yeah. It's like you're an adult.
Yeah.
Act
Well,
like it.
you'd hope so. I mean, I know we run into that sometimes.
Yeah.
There's some knuckleheads out there for sure. Look at Jeremiah's. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing we don't have none of those here.
Not in Rancho Cucamonga. Are you serious? Never.
Man, children.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I'm glad you're able to reopen the tap room. It's
Yeah.
been awesome. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we had. God, look at all these beers we had.
All great. All great.
Nothing bad. Not a bad.
Well,
I mean, we started
maybe
with our
one.
well,
Maybe
the
one.
pickle beer. Yeah,
Maybe one.
Well, I like the pickle beer,
Yeah.
but I like pickled.
Is there anything you can tell the fans to look forward to in the next 2 months? And I personally know you're working on a lot. You're working on the collaborations to get other breweries hyped and their names out there. But yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of basic stuff we're working behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
And they have to do with health. There's a lot of health things we're working behind the scenes.
Makes sense.
Wellness starts here. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And if we can continue to have this product and have it be friendly to a few other things, I'm not going to say what because we don't know what we're going to be able to pull off.
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not be able to take this product a little bit further?
Yeah.
Why not be able to be vegan friendly? Why
Yeah.
not be able to step into these other categories with the same exact product?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing your homework and wanting to, and giving a shit about everybody that's out there. And
Absolutely.
and
I'm all for that.
that's huge. I believe health is a huge thing. We drink beer quite a bit.
Yes.
So
You got to take care of yourself
Absolutely.
to do that.
So
Absolutely.
that's the next. I think that's one of
Take
the
your
next
milk thistle.
huge things for us is introducing the health and wellness as well.
And that's what we
Nice.
tried. The beer wheat that Josh and I made was start from the mother-in-law. And that's why we called the Mo-in-law Hazy IPA. Was because my mother-in-law is super into health and super into like all kinds of
As my
different
mom is,
elements and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so her big thing is, take your turmeric, take your ginger, take this. And I
You
was
ever
like,
had a chia seed froze?
right? So I'm like, hey, let's put that in a beer so I don't have to take all these pills that she hands
Oh,
me.
is that the ginger turmeric?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
ginger
yeah.
turmeric beer. So that was the Mo-in-law's idea there. So, but definitely, I love that idea. Bringing a health game into it. You see it in some other types of drinks. In the alcohol industry. I got all these like seltzers that are coming out.
I was going
and
to
stuff
say
like
that's one thing we're not going to do. So
Okay, good.
yeah, we made 7 different seltzers,
Uh-huh.
and that's the longest thing we ever took to sell.
Yeah.
I made a raspberry, a blueberry, a pineapple. I
I don't think I even saw these.
I made 7 different seltzers pre-COVID, and
Nothing.
took us like a month to sell 7 kegs.
Have you tried to sell a
Yeah.
seltzer since COVID, though?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, I have not. But we don't have space for it anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
Too big.
gonna stop making frosés and make seltzers.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love the frosé, boy.
D&D is not happy about that.
love
Keep those
the
rosés
frosé,
going.
boy.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, Jeremiah, thank you for the hospitality
Yes.
and having us here. And BnD West Coast. Follow on the Instagram, Glass Game Strong. Of course, follow us here on BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. We appreciate all the love. We're growing and growing and growing and growing. It seems like, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of the show, which is awesome. We're now over 2,000 downloads.
Nice.
I think 1,700 followers, so we're growing. It started as just you and I saying, let's have some beer shares and
With a
dick around and-
mic in the middle of the
Here we
table.
so it's definitely gone into something a lot bigger. But that's what we wanted to do, is just bring people together and sample beers from all over the world and talk about it and get people to try something different and stop drinking Budweiser, because nobody wants to drink that shit. So, but yeah, Jeremiah, thank you for the hospitality. You really do have a great brewery. Like I said, it's cool to see. I love it when I see people, like when I put up a picture of a frosé that I'm drinking and I get a comment from somebody from Japan. I'm just like, that's awesome. They're like, I love frosés, and you can see like the Japanese like writing in their,
Right?
in their
Like, I need
hashtags, and I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. So, because we have listeners on our show in Japan and Guam, Germany, Australia. So it's really cool to see beers that we love out here
Well, just
overseas.
interconnected,
Yeah, it's really cool. So
I guess if I can go out with anything, it's gonna be a simple sentence to everybody. I won't let you down.
I like it.
Hey,
That's
my
beautiful.
boy.
Words from Kings Brewing. I won't let you down, and we haven't been let down since. So
Hey,
again,
let's get it.
thanks a lot. We've had a lot.
Shout out to Kings. I
Yep.
love the frosé.
Kings Brewing. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
They also practice by drinking the urine of a ram.
The what?
They drink ram's piss.
Because of the pH balance?
No, because if you can drink ram's piss, fuck, you can drink almost anything.
She said fuck.
Oh, what is the malted liquor? What gets you drunk or quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer! Can't get enough of it. Beer! How we really love it. Beer! Makes me think I'm a man. Beer! I could kiss and hug it. Beer! But I'd rather chug it. Beer! Fill my belly out to here. Beer! I could not refuse it. Beer! I could really use it. Beer! 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 I can't remember how much I have had. I drank a 12-pack with my dad.